Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this. The podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock them out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit them with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break them, let's go. Yeah. Can Crushers. Yeah. Can Crushers, let's go.
Hey, this is Maddie Monarch, and I absolutely love Can Crushers podcast. Come check us out every week.
Welcome back to another Can Crushers Wrestling podcast. That's the sexy Sir Michael Jenks. I'm Mark the Mark. Not that you can see us, but he's still sexy as a motherfucker.
And so is Mark. I mean, let's be honest here. If you guys aren't drooling, I don't know what you're doing listening to this podcast, right?
Drool or be drooled on.
Well, let's not go there.
How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm just ducky over here. How are you doing?
Probably change the D to an F for me. It's just been a week and there's some work obligations coming tomorrow or today as you guys are listening. So that kind of takes me out of, I was going to go do some promoting this weekend in Scranton for New Era Pro Wrestling with Nathaniel and Shelby, and not anymore. It's not even the fun work of radio. It's work.
Ugh, that sucks.
So, yeah, that's why I changed the D with an F.
For fuck.
Yes.
And there's the expletive.
Yeah, just some shit rolling out that, you know, we have to do some appointments on Saturdays and da-da-da-da-da, and that's the normal human beings are home on Saturday.
Right.
So guess what that means? That's when you have to, when you're a waterman now, that's when you sometimes go in.
Yeah. When you wear many hats, you gotta go when it is. Yeah. Man of many hats.
Yeah. You better fucking be awake when I'm there. That's all I'm telling you. I hope you're listening right now as I'm in your basement. Fans all over the place. Oh, Mark's mad that he's here today. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Now shut the fuck up and let me do my shit. Get out.
Leave me alone. Overall, I don't know. It's just, it's been, I don't know. I say this for reals. I don't know if my body's going through some type of change or something. Jenks is ripping shit down.
My phone fell over. Sorry.
I am physically weak and sore. Like I have been. I don't know if maybe I have a bug and it's not out there that I'm like sick or something, but there's this, there's joints and shit. And I know I'm old. People are going to say, you're just old and fat. Well, you're correct. But I don't know. Maybe it's the hot to the cold to the negative degrees to the rain to the 50 to the 60s, something like that. Something's going on here that not mobile that much. Like I can walk and everything, but good fucking God does it hurt to wake up.
Oh, I believe that. I mean, I had that whole allergy thing going on earlier in February when the weather went 60 to 20 to 30, which it's doing this week too, because basically, fuck you guys. That's basically what it's saying. Yeah, welcome to Pennsylvania. So anybody coming here for WrestleMania, good luck that week because I'm sure it's going to be fucking snowing, 70 degrees, sunburns, whatever.
Yeah, so, Saturday could be 90 in Philadelphia, but Sunday you could have a foot of snow.
Yeah, 20 degrees, foot, snow shits on you,
Let's do these, and I'm not rushing along whatsoever, but the wrestling community hit hard this week.
Yeah, 100%.
two losses. First one, Ole Anderson, and I'm not saying this might be out of your genre a little bit. You probably did some clips and some knowledge, but the Andersons, he wasn't just one guy. The Andersons were probably one of the most technical yet brutal tag teams of my childhood. Brutality goes to the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, or whatever you want to call them. And I'm focusing on the Crockett promotion because that's where I remember seeing Ole a lot. They were Daniel Bryan mixed with, the Legion of Doom. They would pick that arm and just beat the hell out of it. I was more worried about when the Rock and Roll Express or the Midnight Express were going to face the Andersons that they would get more hurt and have that long injury as a child not knowing wrestling, have that long injury of, oh man, I don't know if they're going to come back. They face the Legion of Doom, they're going to get pummeled in the match, and then they'll bounce back after they lick their wounds.
Right.
The Andersons, for me, were just that hard-nosed team. And I loved Arn, but he was maybe the leader of it. Ole was the man for the Andersons. He was the brute. He was the force of that team. And then transitioning into the Horsemen as he was being a Horseman for, of the original Horsemen, he was still that guy. Mm. Then you replace him with Barry or Lex or whomever. He was always the brute of the group and everything. Listen, I've heard the stories about how, not well like this, that, and we're speaking of him as a human being and what he's done for professional wrestling. He just always worried me that he was going to take it to the next level and hurt my favorites. And I'm going back to my childhood.
Right.
Always hurt my favorites. So he scared me, not as in a boo, but he scared me as in, man, this guy is one of the greats, and I'm worried because Barry Windham when he was good, or Rock and Roll Express, or yada, 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 we're going against him. He was just dastardly, probably the best word, in the ring, in so much as a booker, promoter, everything that he's done. That was a tough one for me to swallow this week.
Yeah. Well, no, 100%. And so yeah, you had it where I was outside of Ole's reign of terror, if you will, as a wrestler. But I learned about Ole early on. Like, he got inducted in WCW Hall of Fame, I think in like 94, 95, somewhere in there. And I remember watching that and I'm like, oh, is this Arn's brother? Okay, so now I need to know more. So when I got older and obviously YouTube became a thing, I could go back and say, oh, Ole Anderson, that always sticks with me. Let me look up his stuff. And to your point, he was the enforcer before Arn Anderson basically was the enforcer. He was the older brother, right? And Ole was there and took no shit. And he, obviously, you alluded to it, didn't get the best reception at all because of what his attitude was. But he was one of those wrestlers that you sit back and say, oh, shit, he's got to face Ole tonight. That's going to be a fucking train wreck. Like, you're just sitting there like your favorites are going to be like, oh, he's going to get fucking worked. This is going to be a long night at the office. It's just one of those people that you look back and say, holy shit, here comes Ole. Here comes Arn. It translated to Arn, the original Horseman and whatnot. The history is there. Ole was just one of those tough sumbitches that really made you believe that your favorites were in a bad spot when it's a tough night in the office for that. Like I said, I watched him later in life, but I also understood very, very early on watching his stuff, methodical SOB about it. And he would torture to get the end result he wanted. It's not Arn pulling Glocks on people, but he was going to get it done physically. He didn't need the special weapons to do what he did.
That's perfect. He didn't. Taking the joking aside, he didn't. He beat the piss out of you.
He did. Absolutely did. Beat the shit out of you, and that was it. That was an Ole match. You got the shit kicked out of you.
When him and Arn would work over on the arm, and then their finisher was, Arn was, he tagged Ole in and held the arm of the opponent. and then he brought that knee down across the shoulder blade. I thought I was going to see people's arms ripped off because of that. Again, you know, and I will always say the Road Warriors, they're as supernatural. So you kind of put them in a different realm because they did what they did. But this was the brutal team for me of the Andersons because I pictured them, and trust me, I've done it to the neighborhood kids, not now, but I did it to the neighborhood kids, and, you know, that was my thing. I would always want to slam somebody on their arm because you take away an arm in a match, guess what? You kind of have more of an advantage, right?
Oh, yeah. Motherfucker's damaged. You're not getting shit done at that point.
So,
and to that point, that's what's missing sometimes from today's professional wrestling. But
it is. And then 2 days later, when I saw, you know, Ole, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a rough one. We'll be able to talk about him. 2 days later, Virgil, Mike Jones, Soul Train Mike Jones, essentially lost his battle. And I'm like, from him going to Olive Gardens and all of that, whatever. That's his that's his later in life stuff. To Virgil just being the bodyguard of the $1 Million Man. That was my first encounter when the $1 Million Man came up, and favorite live vignette. They get the kid out of the crowd to bounce the basketball.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give you so much money, and then they fucking kick the ball away from the kid. My heart still breaks for that kid. I'm like, oh. And Virgil just then going on and kind of turning on DiBiase and being really the $1 Million champion. And he loved this business. Not saying that Ole did, but we transitioned. He loved this business. He would set up outside of Comic Cons, and people are like, oh my God. But if you would sit and talk to Virgil, sure, you might have to pay him $20. The stories, the love and the passion, up until that he was really sick and he wasn't doing anything like that. This business, he breathed it from the time that he got in until just this week.
Yeah. No, 100%. I always I remember my earliest memories of Virgil. Red and white striped pants, fighting people, the candy stripers. One of the earliest matches I remember seeing, but obviously before I could dig more into him, was him unfortunately jobbing the Giant Gonzalez at some point in his career. And it was towards his ladder in the run. But it was always striking me because then you see the clips and then you're like, oh my God, he was $1 million with DiBiase. He was the bodyguard, as you said, and then watching over when he turns on DiBiase, separates, basically becomes the good guy. DiBiase's trying to fight him back, and then it was always fun to watch that, and that's my storied memories. And we have to mention, you know, he was in NWO like every other professional wrestler was in the mid-'90s. Vincent, I think it was his name back then, yeah. But he did so much for the industry, and you can talk about how much he will talk about the industry, but I followed his antics on social media when he, like you said, pop up outside of conventions, Comic Cons, Wrestling Cons, whatever it was. He'd pop up outside, yell about somebody getting that meat sauce, and then just losing his mind after loving. The man was a character through and through from what you could see. And it was really sad to see him pass this week because you stopped hearing from him a lot, I think, over the past couple months. And then to hear that news, it kind of hits you in a different way. It's a little bit of a brick wall because you're not expecting that from him because he wasn't that old. He was 6'1". Yeah. 61. I mean, Roddy was 59, I think it was, or he was very young as well. But when they're that young, it's like, holy shit, you don't expect it just coming out of nowhere. And a couple of years ago, until, you know, he started fighting his fight, he was looking still like $1 million, still chugging along, still doing his own thing, yelling about meat sauce, but he was doing his own thing. So
Joe Dombrowski, IWC commentator, a commentator around the world, essentially, did some stuff for ROH, MLW, and everything now, has his own library. And it's Virgil, right?
Yeah.
Running joke in professional wrestling, yada, yada, yada. I think he has a DVD, and it's probably up in his library store. So type in Joe Dombrowski, find it. But I think it's a 3-hour sit-down with Virgil about just Virgilisms or something. I don't remember what it's called, Table of One with Virgil or whatever. For years, I've had the opportunity to buy that DVD. For years, again, because it's Virgil. You kind of, you say hi to Virgil and then you end up giving $100 to him, and it's his thing. He sold you. He did. That's what, he turned into an independent wrestler. So he has to make money. I understand it. But you get annoyed with him. I'm like, oh my God, Virgil, shut up. I came to see Wardlow. I came to see Kenny Omega, whoever else is on the card. I'm not here to see you. Now, I need to buy this because guilt has set in. I want to watch it.
You had it. Yeah.
I want to have something in history. Junior year, he came to a town real close by, and a couple buddies of mine, they've both been on the show, Pat and John, essentially. We took our picture because Bundy was on the card, Virgil was on the card, Nails was on the card, da-da-da-da-da. That's the card that, if you ever heard me talk about, the ring wasn't there before the show even started. They set it up real quick.
Yeah.
They tested the ropes. Somebody passed after they tested the ropes and they broke.
Right.
So they were doing anything they could do. Well, Virgil was taking pictures with everybody. So we all took pictures. I'm like, oh, let's take a picture with Virgil. Ha, ha, ha. To know again, I don't have Virgil on my wall. I have a little autograph, that picture that we got. I got it autographed, but
yeah. Guess
what now is beckoning for me? I need that. Now I'm going to probably pay more than $20 for a Virgil autograph, but it means it. And I have to reach out to Joe to say, I should have bought it 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it sinks in that you're like, I should have done more. I should have listened to another story. Maybe I should have, jokingly, said, hey, do you want to go to Olive Garden? Let me buy you a meal.
Right.
He was down on his luck. And he's a Pittsburgh guy. So he's right around the corner from both of us.
Yeah, that's true.
I just, guilt now that I didn't do enough for Virgil.
It happens. It hits you hard as wrestling fans because you see when people run out of time like this and you know that maybe they're struggling in a lot, you take on that guilt because it's one of those things where, what if I did more? What if I did this? It's not, I know there's survivor's guilt and whatnot. I don't think it's that, but it's more or less like, oh man, I wish I had just reached out that one time. That one time said, hey, let's go do something. You know what I mean? And just get that from him. But again, to your point, you always think you have the time.
Yes.
And time sometimes is not on your side. And that's the unfortunate news.
These are lyrics too, aren't they?
They are. It's just, it sucks. Point blank, it sucks.
Yeah. So, mock us, say whatever you want. We'll raise our beverages right now to two legends in the professional wrestling business, Ole Anderson and Virgil. Rest easy. Godspeed. Thank you for everything you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, get to our lighter note. By the way, this fucking drink that I'm drinking right now is god awful. I did not shake it enough.
Admirable.
It's not our sponsor, so I'm not even going to mention it. It's a, I don't want to say it's a cleanse or anything.
A healthy drink.
I'm getting some vegetables and stuff in my system right now. I don't know. I'm down on my luck, apparently, whatever. I didn't shake this enough. This is horrible.
He's being a health smoothie aficionado. I'm running, I can barely eat now with temporary teeth in, and I'm drinking a beer, dealing with pain. That's getting the Yingling. I'm down to Cold Snap and Matt. I still have Mad Elf. I'm drinking Cold Snap tonight for sure, but
Cold Snap's delicious.
Oh, it's delicious. I love it.
All right, let's try, Joe. I have 2, 3 possible hot topics. Nothing.
4, 5.
No, it's 3. I'm looking at my notes right now. It's 3. 2 of them wrestling related, and 1 our favorite fucking game in the world related. Ethan Hill.
And it hasn't even a hit yet.
Right. I want to start right off the bat. Miz is locked in a room.
Oh my God. Yeah. Has to get a fucking hole cut out of the door to get out of the damn room.
What the hell? I was going to bed. I didn't watch, I don't watch Raw live. I just, first and foremost, it's too late. Second and foremost, it's too damn long. So I'm just going through TikTok, and there's Miz live on TikTok saying, "Hey guys, I'm here at Raw." I'm like, I don't believe they're letting him do this live. They let him pre-record him and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
I'm locked in a room, and I don't know if I'm going to make my fucking segment. Okay, what are they trying to get over? Nothing. He's literally locked in a room, and he can't get out because the door just shit the bed.
Where were they? I can't remember where they were at this week.
I thought they were in San Jose.
Were they in San Jose? Yeah, San Jose. You would think, we have hockey players and all that stuff.
Play where they were, I think.
Yeah, a professional hockey team plays there. You think you would have working doors, essentially? Nope, apparently not. Just
I don't know. That's my biggest hot topic. I died laughing. I died laughing going to bed. And Callie's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "The Miz is stuck in the door." She's like, "Shut up, that's a joke." I'm like, "No, look, I turned it over and."
You know what we need? I'm going to throw this out there right now for a proposed crushy category. Random shit that happened in wrestling all year. Talk random shit. Fuck it.
It's going in right now.
Yeah, Miz trapped in a room. Oh my God. Trapped in a room needs to get cut out on TikTok is a fucking mouthful, first of all.
Random shit award.
Random shit in wrestling award.
Shit award. Because I don't know. I don't know what's going to top that. Oh, don't worry. We're only in March, by the way. So, yes. Second one I have is, how about the DLCs that were announced essentially for they're not all coming out Tuesday, folks, by the way. And for those that didn't pre-order or buy the biggest package, you'll get it Friday. But Tuesday for me, we're getting Punk, we're getting Jade, we're getting the Dudleys, we're getting, I am stoked about these DLCs.
These DLCs are looking fucking great right now. This seems like it's going to be more of a user-friendly type fucking, this is for the fans, let's pump them full of just all of these fucking things. They also knew they were going to need the Punk thing. They were going to need Punk put in there. They were going to need a lot of things with this. And they just sat back and said, all right, let's make it happen. I love it. I love it very much. I'm trying to pull up all of the DLCs right now. I can't get it.
So I played last week, maybe in general, 2 hours of last year's game.
Okay.
I didn't want to oversaturate myself.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of the story thing with John Cena. And now realize Tuesday, as soon as the new game comes, deletion of 2023.
23.
Yep.
Yeah.
I won't go back and play Cena, even though it was fun. I would never go back and play it. But I played a little bit of that story of Cena, thoroughly enjoyed it. I played several War Games matches. Man, if you don't have at least in my realm, if you don't have the advantage in the War Games, by the time their fourth member comes in, I picked Cody. I don't remember who I picked. Drew, Sheamus, and I don't know who my fourth person was. Against not even big people.
Yeah.
Because I'm I want to win my first one.
Right.
You're in there forever.
Oh, yeah.
They put Cody in first. Boom, you're in first against whoever I was in. Held my own. I play on easy. I don't want to fucking hear it. I enjoy playing video games. It doesn't need to be a challenge. But even still, they get the advantage. 2-on-1. I don't know the controls as well. I'm getting fucking pummeled. My guy comes in. Okay, back to a tag team match. Okay. But I'm drained.
Right.
Back and forth. Their fourth member comes in, has the advantage. I'm dead in a corner. They're working over the other two guys. My fourth guy is still drinking coffee in the Shark Tank. My fourth guy comes in. They pick me up, put me through a table. Burp, you lose. I mean, it was as soon as my person came in, it was like, it's now time for War Games. Ding, 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 ding. Cody lost. Motherfucker. That was my first one. Because I went on random with the advantage, thinking, okay, let's try it. So I put the advantage on my side, clearly did the same thing. I'm telling you, the advantage is key in this match. And I didn't even really do anything death-defying in the matches. When you play it, this match is so much fun. Throwing people over both ropes into the other ring, fighting in between them. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even getting my ass kicked the first match. I can see a lot of War Games matches in my future.
Oh, yeah. I believe that.
It's like the Dudleys and Punk and probably Cody or whomever. But, yeah. And by the way, they did Roman well last. I didn't watch all the entrances because I didn't want to saturate it.
Right.
But I watched Romans. They did them good last year, so I can only imagine. I've seen the pictures already of this year. It's going to be a long Tuesday, and I'm so pumped about it.
Well, that's a good thing. The only thing I'm hoping is that they fix Bailey, whatever the hell that rollout was. If you saw her character, but I'm excited to play that. I'm going to probably pull the trigger on the big pack tonight. I feel like so Friday night while you guys are listening to this when we're recording. I just haven't done it yet. I was debating and I'm like, well, I could give myself 2 days of 2K, sprinkle in a little bit Mad in there while I'm playing and just kind of go for it on the old system. Then that way when I get the PS5, transition everything over. We're good. We're in a good place. So I'm excited for that. I'm really excited. I'm looking at the packs right now. If you haven't seen the packs, you're missing out. These fucking things. The first pack's in May. It's the ECW Punk pack. The Dudleys, like we were talking about. Punk. Terry Funk. Sandman. You get a My Faction Heyman card. Superstar cards. The other packs, I won't list them all, but Post Malone and Friends, which includes the Headbangers.
I'm pumped about the Headbangers.
I am too, because they never get included in anything that are WWE related. So that's going to be awesome. The Pat McAfee pack will be in July. Global Superstar pack, which that list is packed as well. And then that WCW pack, that's looking pretty nice right now. So November can't come soon enough for that one. There's some big ones on there.
And of course they're both down here in the studio now. Dogs, meaning it is. And I'm pumped for in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because the people that bought the mega pack, they're going to play through before they start any of their creations and da-da-da-da-da. But I'm excited for when they have the Britt Bakers that we're going to bring over. Yeah. Or we're going to have the Kenny Omegas or the Ospreys. I'm going to probably load up my system with all of them. You know, pick a creator that I'm like, all right, this guy is just blowing through them and they look amazing. Let's go. So I hope, and I know there's some, people in and around that they throw some indie stars up too. Smiley Kylie, I saw her as one of the most downloaded. I did download a couple gals just to, Britt and Raylan were instantly, I'm like, oh my God, they have both of them. Cool. Because I typed in IWC. Hashtag thing. Boom. They both came up. I'm like, yes. So they were on one of the War Games match. It was fun.
I like it.
For about 2 hours, I put my headsets on, my noise-canceling ones. Yeah. I don't know if a robber came in and killed my family or did whatever. I was just in that zone. I'm like, yeah, this is what I needed. So, nice. But then I'm like, well, 2 hours is good. I got the controls back down, set it aside.
You can walk away.
Get rid of the ring rust. Get ready for this on Tuesday.
The ring rust.
All right, finally. Well, do you have anything before we go to our game of love?
Let's see. Yeah, for wrestling topics right now, I think the biggest one we got to talk about is literally before recording, I don't know, about 6-7 hours ago, Rock decides to drop a 15-minute promo on social media, delete that video, and then drop a 21-minute video, uploads, basically just taking it to Seth and Cody over everything going on. We talked before air, you have not heard you didn't watch it. I've watched bits and pieces of it. There's some people that are doing God's work and pulling out highlight lines, so I wanted to use those to inform this portion of the conversation and get your reaction to kind of some of the things he's saying about it. So the first one, let me find it. Oh, here we go. So The Rock, you turned your back and looked at The Rock, and instead of looking at The Rock and saying, this is when Cody was leaving the ring during that SmackDown, instead of saying, yeah, go get him, let's make history, instead you gave The Rock a look, and it's the same look you gave the world, like The Rock went out there and ran over your goofy-ass dog.
Oh. They bring the dog into this?
Shit on Pharaoh in this. And of course, people reacted with the 50-cent gift. That motherfucker talking about me? Like, it's like, why are you bringing me into this? Like, I didn't do anything to you. But, so they brought Pharaoh into this, first of all.
That's bullshit. And by the way, the heat of this is
top notch.
Listen, we are really on the road to WrestleMania, and I think sports entertainment always says, this is going to be the best WrestleMania. I am thoroughly pumped for this WrestleMania.
I am too. I 100% agree with that. And this guy's trying to turn Cody Rhodes into fucking John Wick over here, just murdering people left and right. So, Rock is just trying to tote that line. One of the other lines he says, Rock, it stings, but this was when Cody and The Rock talked about Rock taking over. Rock, it stings, but I agree. It stings, but I'm a team player. It stings, but I want to do what's best for business. So over the course of this promo, Rock is laying out that Cody Rhodes basically agreed to it and turned his back on it in a matter of 2 weeks, which is accurate. From what we've seen, he did turn his back. There was some sort of thing that changed his mind that said, nah, we ain't doing this anymore. Probably the PowerPoint presentation didn't help its cause, but, that was one other thing. But, yeah, so that was one of the things Rock dropped on that. The other last part of this, finally! So the final part of Rock's speech, and we'll get into the Seth and Cody reactions. Seth Rollins, The Rock is your boss. I can make your world title go to somebody else. And then
that's
so
WWE never says anything like that.
Exactly. So talk about killing kayfabe-ish.
Fourth wall crushed.
Fourth wall gone. Burned to the ground. He burned it down at that point. So finally he says to Cody Rhodes, from the bottom of my heart, man to man, fuck your story.
Legit says fuck.
Legit says fuck your story.
Are those shirts coming up on WWEshot.com?
I'm praying to God, because I would love
if you do use
that shirt. Use our affiliate code to buy that shirt.
It's in the show notes.
It's in the show notes. Check. But okay. So now we need we got to talk about, obviously, there's got to be responses to this chaos. And Seth Rollins here, all Seth did was post a gif of him of when he was throwing up on the Waller effect, pretending that he he's just throwing up. Cody Rhodes posted, I ain't watching all that. I'm happy for you though, or sorry that happened. And that's all he put. Basically saying, cool story, bro. Leave me alone.
So, are we getting Cody Rock Fastlane?
No, I think we're getting this tag match. I think it's Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman.
Night one.
Night
2, Rock turns on Roman.
Exactly. I don't think this is. I think this is all a game still.
This is all a hoax.
This is all a fucking hoax.
But we're buying it.
We're hook, line, and sinker. We're going to eat this, and we're going to sit here like idiots and watch 21-minute promos from The Rock.
I'm going to now.
Well,
we're not recording.
Belittling Cody Rhodes and all of that stuff. But, man, leave the fucking dog out of this. Pharaoh didn't do
what
shit
did the dog ever do to you?
Yeah. Pharaoh didn't do shit.
No. Bullshit.
But
I can't wait to watch those. I can't. Hurry up. Let's get this podcast over. So I have all day at work tomorrow to do that. I mean, what?
Yeah, what? What?
What? So NCAA is coming out. May, we get a big teaser. July is the game. We'll probably shut down for a week. Just throwing that out there to you. In July.
Yeah.
Kurt Fowler. This is my big take on it. Did you see Kurt Fowler came up and kind of posted I don't know if it was TikTok or an Instagram or whatever, but he kind of answered some questions this week.
You mean Kirk Herbstreit?
What's the other?
Chris Fowler's the other guy's name.
Chris Fowler, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Chris Fowler, not Herbstreit. I put them both together.
That's fine. I know what you're talking about.
I put Fowler, and I just ran them together. He's been doing voiceovers for more than a year. And I know people are like, no shit, it's going to probably take that long. But he just kind of we knew this was good when we were bitching about it last year. Mm-hmm. It was getting to gold kind of like last year. They're just literally tidying it up right now. It's all they're doing.
Yep.
You're getting the NIL, because the NIL deals, if you're signing on, need to be in by April.
Yeah.
And then that's just its database. Put everybody's names in that did sign up, transition them over. That's an easy breezy. I'm not a game builder or anything, but I would imagine somebody smarter than me. All the names are in that signed up. They're in. The rest, Jenks, Martinez, Hetrick, they could be generated names.
Right.
Easy. But Fowler has said, he's like, I've been doing voiceovers. Me and Herbstreit have been doing voiceovers for this for a year of just talking hours when there's no game day or anything.
Yep.
In the summer, they'd just be sitting there talking about football, running plays in their head and everything. So that makes it so much better for me, because I've heard how MLB has done it. Sometimes John Shambi and Chris Singleton are not on the same page.
Yeah.
You've seen it with Madden. They're not on the same page. Mm-hmm. So if it's Alabama's in my head, if it's Alabama LSU, I'm sure they tell history stories about that rivalry and stuff.
Oh,
if they're recording hours, they don't have to be 15-second snippets. And everybody's like, oh my God, I think this is going to be more than we expect. I'm getting my hopes to the moon and back now, because if they've just we can record stuff quickly. They literally are professionals.
They are. They take their time. They
do read it. They read it. All right, one take, ready. Mike Jenks is awesome. Martinez sucks. Boom. In game. That took, 5 seconds?
Yeah.
They continue to do that for every school. Oh, my God. It's going to add so much. I know after you play a year of Dynasty or anything, it will get repetitive. But the first go-around, there's not going to be any skipping for me. You know how you skip in between plays sometimes, everything like that? I'm just going to be fully engulfed.
Yeah.
Again, he also announced that minimal microtransactions on this game, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Because there will be an online mode, but this game is supposedly built mostly for offline. Because there's me and you that, we want to do the Dynasty. We want to do the Road to the Show.
Yep.
It's going to be fun maybe to buy a Tony Dorsett card, because it was kind of one of the names that was leaked, to play me and you against the all team or whatever the hell they're really going to call it. But we don't do that. We'd rather have Jenks University taking on Can Crushers University and doing that in our Dynasty. So those are like two of the big things that I pulled out of his was about a 7-minute video as well. But I'm like, oh my God, just him and Herbstreit going back and forth. Kind of like, it starts with an S. The synergy? Yes!
Yeah, it's look at corporate terms.
The synergy of them being together, I can't wait. I really can't wait for this.
Oh, it's going to be 100%. And they've already have major players saying we're in. The only one I can think off the top of my head, Travis Hunter, has already said he's in. So they are already clocking and using those guys as publicity, say, hey, we got Travis, he's in the game. And then for the game day set, to your point about the announcers, you have Kirk, you have Chris, I've seen Reese Davis, basically anybody that's on game day is in there. Pat's going to be in there.
He is, for sure?
I thought so, from what I understood, from what I read. I will double check that. But David Pollack, who did get released last year from ESPN, is in the game because he already recorded lines, so he might as well be in the game at this point.
Right.
So,
it's not ESPN driven. It has ESPN in it, but it's not their game, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. So keep him in there. I mean, I think the only one I didn't see that was in there was Lee Corso, I think. Because I don't think Lee recorded any lines. Obviously, Lee is more up there in age, so he's not going to do that. But yeah, so I'm trying to pull up right now. Announcers in game.
And another creator said that there's going to be so much other things for, people that record complete dynasties and everything. He's like, there's going to be enough content out there that you'll never have to worry. Which essentially, it's that Matt Brown. You've heard that name, Jenks, before.
Yeah. Yep.
Which essentially everybody's twisting to say, create a school, create a university is in there.
Yeah. Well, 100%. I mean, you have the 134 schools, so you're taking Buckcrack University to the national championship from there. Then you got potentially the FCS schools that could come into this play. So that's another 100 and whatever the hell that is, 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go with that. Plus how people get creative in it, because me, you, Bob and Tom down the street are going to be creating their own teams. They're going to be there could be I don't know if there's share a team through a creative mode on NCAA. There's just going to be a plethora where you don't have to build shit and you can still pull in all of these goddamn teams.
Right.
So the possibilities are endless coming up here. Also, Pat's not in the game. Sorry. But it's Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, Reese Davis, and Kevin Connors are rounding out the list of people.
Yes, I'll have to deal with them.
Yeah, I know. Sucks ass. But can't have Pat taking off his shirt on NCAA 25.
He was probably a couple bucks. Not saying that the other guys weren't.
Yeah.
Pat is worth
every penny. Did you not change too much course off of NCAA football? Because I didn't know if you have anything else to bring up with that.
No,
Do you
I'm
have
done.
anything?
My hot topics are done.
I was on TikTok before the show, and there's one creator I follow. He's really in depth in the road, MLB the show and all that stuff. He brought up a good point. I believe at one of the spring training facilities, they have a logo for the show, but it says 319, and then it says MLBtheshow.com/college after that. There's speculation. They haven't announced anything yet. There's speculation that maybe Road to the Show involves a college element, and then you get drafted, and then you're in the minors. Have not confirmed anything.
Motherfucker. This is the way that you get Mark to buy it this year.
Exactly. So from what right now, the site's not active. From people have checked it out. He said they can only speculate right now, but that is the speculation they have, is that it would be for college. You start in college and Road to the Show, then you get drafted, you go to the majors, and you do all that.
Instant buy. And by the way, I was already thinking about it because you know how they have a continuation of the Negro League this year that they brought in last year. They have another story in it this year, though. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's Jeter's Moments.
Really? Oh, see, you're going to be... They already had you kind of on the hook, and if this college thing plans out, you're hook, line, and sinkered.
But that's so close then. I've already dropped a loan out on WWE.
Yeah.
But it's paid for, so I'm good, right?
It's done, yeah.
I don't want to take it away. I mean, trust me, by Tuesday I'll have 24 hours of WWE, and I will take probably an hour break.
Right.
I have a couple of weeks then to MLB, but that would engulf MLB. Listen, MLB, if it's Road to the Show with universities, wrestling gets put on the back burner a little bit then, because then if I can pick that I'm going to Pitt or wherever, but I'm wearing everything Pitt today, and I get drafted out of Pitt to Detroit or something like that, I'd be so pumped. Plus, listen, everybody knows Derek Jeter, prior to Miggy, one of my all-time favorite players. By the way, Miggy just damn near ran over the table because I said his name twice now in about 30 seconds. To have Jeter's Moments, to do that, to relive first hit, to dive into the crowd, 3,000. We were at Buffalo Wild Wings. Do you know that? When he hit 3,000?
Oh, yeah? We were?
Did you come with me and Jesse?
I probably did, but it's been so long ago I couldn't remember, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Shit, yeah. Yeah, we were.
Wings and beers.
Although there was one time I went with you guys, and that was pretty far gone. So I don't know if that was the same night. That might be the same night. That was a rough night.
Yeah.
I got one more.
That's fine.
There's a speculation here. This is wrestling related, back to it. Speculation coming out by WrestleVotes right now that there's a finalized deal for SummerSlam 2023. And it's at Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, they haven't officially announced it right now, but that is the final. There's finalization details going around that. Wide speculation, it's Cleveland.
Are we looking at that then? Because it's not Philly in April.
It's not Philly in April. It's Cleveland in summer, so 60, 70-degree night. Nice way to spend a Sunday night.
They're giving the East Coast two of their biggest pay-per-views in this year. Yep. Essentially, you're going to say Cleveland's not on the East Coast. To us, it is. Cleveland's Midwest. Yeah. But to us, that's Ohio. That's our next-door neighbors that we consider East Coast.
Exactly.
Around our neck of the woods. Especially you. It's a 2-hour drive.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. So
they have access and stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only one night.
It's only one night versus two.
And it may be a Saturday night.
Could be a Saturday night, and it could involve Rock, Roman, Cody, some form, fashion.
Ooh. If this is real, I think that we should pull the trigger on that.
I agree, and we have a following. We have a couple people also involved in it as well. But, so yeah, fun times.
Don't ask me. Just tell me how much I owe you.
That's fair. 100% fair. It's gotta get announced first. So once it's announced, then we can make plans, but
probably WrestleMania night.
I would assume so, yeah. I would assume so.
Yeah.
Big dog in the dog pound, huh?
All right, let's take a break. We have to pay the bills first. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk Elimination Chamber and WWE. We're breaking it down by group today. Elimination, WWE, and then we'll transition to AEW and our predictions for Revolution in the third segment. I already talked about WWEshop.com. Check.
You did. Done.
Collar and elbow hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool things that Alstone hooligans have down at Collar and Elbow. Go and buy it. We have a promo code.
It's Can Crusher. Save yourself 10% off at collarandelbow.com.
Jenks, I continue to do testimonies on Dubby. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm never going to drink a canned energy drink again. It is unbelievable how awake I am. And people are like, this Mark's just doing a sell. I really am not. If you want to come to my house, I'll give you 2 scoops. It's not Raisin Bran. It's Dubby. I will give you 2 scoops in a water bottle. You tell me how you do and enjoy it. I will give you some of my stock and let you enjoy it. You only get 1 shot though. So I'm going to take your name and ID, social security number, your bank card and all that in case you think you're going to come back and get it again. No, I'm kidding. But I'm living. I love it. Really. I struggle in the mornings. This is horrible. I do my 2 scoops of water and Dubby. You know, by the time I get to work, I'm ready to go. I don't have a crash. There's no carbonation. There's no coloring. There's none of that. There's no junk in it. It is legit, just straight fucking beach and peach energy. It's been unbelievable. If that's not a sell for you, I apologize. Check out Dubby. Can Crushers will save you 10% with that promo code. Do it.
He made it through Elimination Chamber on it, so come on, guys.
I really did.
Yeah, it's worth something.
I didn't take a nap either, like I said I was gonna.
See? You made it. It paid for itself at that point.
I didn't pay for this one yet.
You didn't have to say anything. I was trying to help you out. Come on, guy.
Yes. But I will pay for one when I need to pay for one. I will. I'll buy it. Now use our promo code Can Crushers.
Save yourself 10% off.
CrowdMade is where you can buy our merch. They're slowing down on doing stuff for me. I'm kind of getting mad at them. Like, why the hell can't you put the shot glass in the teacup up?
Well, hey, listen, that shot glass is something to be desired. Maybe it's going to be a rare item that we have to worry about getting out to the fans. So,
if you want merch, there's a link in our show notes, but you can also go to CrowdMade and type in Can Crushers. There's hoodies, sweats, t-shirts, and a tank top on there right now. A couple different colors for all of them. So, yeah, do that.
Crush some cans while you're showing off the guns on with the tank top, guys. Come on.
We'll wear tank tops to SummerSlam.
It's going to be hot as hell. We might as well. We could be the Pat McAfee section. Just get all black Can Crusher tank tops. Be fantastic.
I'm not wearing a black one. I will wear
it's
pink.
Night. It's
it doesn't matter. I still like pink. By the way,
pink. I was just trying to be more Pat McAfee-like.
You can be Pat all you want. I'm
going to get orange now.
You're going to be a road flare. A road cone, I meant, not a flare.
Road cone. Oh, I can't. They don't have my size. They're selling out quick there, the orange tank tops, guys. Small is the only one left right now, so.
Really?
Yeah.
You have to be kidding me.
No, the orange one, small is the only one left. I was clicking through, yeah. We have every other color.
Maybe I should do some work on CrowdMade tomorrow at work. I can't because I'll be in other people's houses rummaging around their stuff, seeing if they have any Can Crusher stuff.
For legal purposes, that is not happening.
Are you done with that down there yet, Mark? You said you're rummaging through my stuff on your podcast.
I don't see a goddamn Can Crusher's merch here.
Where was I going? I'm completely lost. Oh.
We're trying to pay the bills. That's what we're trying to do.
Social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, and Threads. Send us an email at cancrusher69@gmail.com or call us.
814-299-6687, 3 minutes in length. And, don't call 14 times. We say it every week. Don't be a moochie in this scenario. I think, is there not? Are we thinking about an Ask Can Crushers coming up here soon-ish? Probably at some point?
I would think let's say the 30th of March. Yeah. So the last episode
of this, I think it's
month, because it's the week before WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, yeah. Yep. So we knew we had one coming up, guys, because we told you every quarter we're going to have an Ask Can Crushers. So we got one coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So get the phone lines ringing, get the email sent in, ask us some hard questions, bring us to our knees and make us try to figure out get us to give you some great answers and intellect from our crazy asses. So
get your shit sent in by March 28th.
Oh, there. Look at that. All right. There you go. March 28th.
This way after phone calls, I can convert them over, yada, yada, yada. And all of that.
Mark's busy with getting in people's houses for water and Can Crusher outfits.
By the way, I would be remiss if I didn't say this before we send it off to Al Snow to tell you more about Collar and Elbow. Congratulations to our friend and his co-host that I always forget his name, but the main guy is Ryan Mosley.
Yep.
Final Count hit episode 100 today, essentially.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Congratulations, guys. Way to go. Way to make it to 100. Time to get on that road to 250 and eventually 500.
I was just saying, catch your asses up to us. No, I'm kidding. Ryan, I love you. I called in. I left you a message. But I know you listen. We both listen to each other back and forth. But congratulations. Guys, if you have never listened to Final Count, go check them out. They get really in-depth about OVW. They steal some of our shit, too. I'm kidding, Ryan. Settle down. I'm kidding. You're not, busted open or anything. That literally pillages our stuff, but whatever.
They're little things. It's just little things. Nothing big. We still have one bill to pay. Did you forget about it? Or no?
Where can you listen to us?
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, yada, yada, yada. But what you really want is Podurama. 50% off a lifetime membership. It's seamless transitions from one device to another. You can leave us mid-sentence here and pick us up on your next device at any point in time in the conversation. 50%. Billy, you're just signing up to listen to us. That's the only thing I would assume you're listening to on there. No other wrestling podcasts that are out there. Maybe
or a cooking podcast or anything.
Or cooking or anything like that. You don't need to cook because we cook. We cook for you here. This is every time.
Here comes Al Snow to tell you more about Collar and Elbow. When we come back, we're talking about Elimination Chamber.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hey, all you stupid Regents math breeders out there. This is Amanda. I'm Elijah Dean, and you are listening to Can Crushers Podcast.
Welcome back to Can Crushers. It's Mark. It's Mike. We're ready to talk about Elimination Chamber, but Elimination Chamber was celebrating Sir Michael Jenks' birthday.
Yeah, it was odd that they decided to go to Australia to celebrate it. I thought that was weird. Couldn't come to Erie, Pennsylvania, throw the chamber up in the Civic Center. That would have been great.
That would fucking eat up that whole...
But they would pack it up.
Yeah, because...
The 100 seats they have available.
Whatever they said, I have the number in the notes, and we'll get there in a minute. If you remembered it, good for you, but... They could have probably squeezed in another 50,000 people at that arena.
Oh, just from the gaps in the floor and all that. My God. And it
looked empty.
It did. It 100%
when they showed it 75 times.
But I should
How
say.
was before we get to Elimination Chamber, because I went fast, how was your birthday, sir?
You're fine. My birthday was great. I have to get... Charlie's yelling at me because I didn't do this earlier. The dogs are.
They said it was a great birthday!
I know! I'm trying to give the props, okay? First of all, Kimberly did an amazing job, made me feel really special on my birthday. She hung a banner while we were recording the night before, so when I walked out, happy birthday banner, the gifts were all laid out. She's like, now don't open these when you're up at 5 a.m. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm not going to be that mobile at 5 a.m. So we celebrated a lot of good stuff, hung out with some family, went and had lunch with my family and that, and it was a very good day. Celebrate me being 1 year older, and her realizing I'm robbing the cradle with her. So, it's just one of those things that keeps on going. So, but,
my grandfather always said that about my grandmother. They were 15 years apart though.
We're only five years apart, basically. So it's not that much.
Me and Cal then.
Yeah, that's true. My sister and her husband are, I think about 14, 15 years apart, like yours. So, but yeah, it was a very good birthday. She did a lot of great things for me, gave me a lot of great presents. I ate cake, I was stuffed.
Cake.
Cake. It was a good time. It was a very good time. And she handmade a blanket for me, which was very nice of her. So.
No way.
Yep, she specializes in hand-making blankets.
Homemaker.
She knows what to do, and it's damn fucking comfortable. That's for damn sure. So,
where'd you go for lunch? I know you went with the fam and everything. Where'd you go?
Bob Evans. We have one Bob Evans up here that's very underrated. Very underrated, but you have to go to the right one in Erie, Pennsylvania. If you go to the one by 90, you're fine. If you go to the one on 12th Street, you're in shit creek and dying in 3 days. Because there's so much grease on that shit. And it's horrible.
Which isn't bad sometimes.
It's not, but when it's swimming in it and it's eggs, it's not supposed to happen. So, but it was good. Bob Evans was good. And of course then we went shopping afterwards and I ended up spending money to kind of get her what she needed too. So it was what it was, but it was a good time. How was your week, and all that stuff? Because we didn't talk that much about it. We jumped right into the deaths and celebrating life of some great legends that passed. But
weekend was good. Woke up ready to go. We had our banter back and forth as we watched Elimination Chamber. Which kind of died off. We'll get to that here in a minute.
Well,
the week itself, a couple basketball games. I got to pull off. Listen, it's still on my side of the closet. I got to pull off my baby face hoodie one more time at a basketball game.
I don't know how you're pulling this off.
I think she's wearing it when I'm not paying attention. And it just kind of, because, listen, you know me, I have a rotation. I never want to take hoodies off. Yeah. Like, it's warm right now. It really is. It's not frigid or anything. It's 35, 40. That's warm enough. The house is warm. I have a hoodie on right now. Rolled up sleeves in this. I love hoodies. So I have a rotation. I have to get it all. I think she might be sneaking it in because there's days I don't see Cal. I mean, she works 1 to 9. Fuck, I'm in bed by the time she comes home from work. Right. Let's call a spade a spade. She may be wearing it. Throw it in the wash it again. The days that I'm looking for it, hey, it's there. Because Mark doesn't look ahead of time for anything.
Right.
I don't know if it's in the closet right now or on the dresser or anything, because I'm not focused on it. I was like, I want to wear Pitt tonight. Why? Because I want to wear Pitt tonight. That's why. Yeah. Because Mark has no rhyme or reason. I go up right now and it's not there, then I might question. I'm like, hey, where is it? Well, I know it's in the laundry right now. Right. I know it is because I wore it 2 days ago and we have not done laundry yet. So.
No, that's fair. I mean, that's how I am with hoodies. You don't pick the days beforehand. You pick the day of because what are you thinking? What are you feeling like wearing at that point in time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get that.
A couple basketball games and essentially really bummed because it is Super Saturday as well. And we have 3 teams sitting in Clarion going for, I was going to say national championships, district championships that I thoroughly love. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams in 3 games. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Really bummed that I'm not getting to call those now either. But yeah, it's just depression is going to sit in when I wake up tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
For the day until we get to essentially Revolution on Sunday. But I digress. Overall, an all right week. Just feeling old. Otherwise, yeah. I think it really is having to do with the weather. By the way, W keeps me going. That shit that I just drank will probably never go intake through me again. And I have a beer that's half gone. We just started this segment. We're good.
You're hitting all the triangles on this, all angles of this pyramid right now.
Energy, grossness, beer. Good.
It's all good. It's all good.
All right, so we're not covering SmackDown from last week because it was pre-recorded. Everything was given out weeks in advance, essentially. But I do want to run back and, oh man, this is how the week's been. Did you guys buy the Black Bart book yet? If not, make sure you check it out on Amazon, or our buddy has his own page, WrestleVille.com. You've heard the interview, or you're going to go back and listen to the interview that I had with Vinnie Barry and Black Bart. Unbelievable stories, and it definitely, right now, my number 1 book that I have read. It is Trump, Todd is God. Lance by Chance has been beaten. The short stories, I love the short stories, because when you get a short story book, I'm not being disrespectful to Vinny, and I've told him this, it's short stories. You can read it and put it down. Oh, Bugsy McGraw's story's coming up. I can get to that tomorrow. When it's this in-depth about Black Bart, about Dusty, and I'm going to spoil the big one, how Dusty said, hey, Black Bart, do you want to be the Undertaker? And then shit just didn't go awry.
Yeah.
It's in the book. Read it. He could have been the Undertaker.
Oh, man.
Right? So it's on Amazon. It's called Wrestle Black Bart, or go to WrestleVille.com. You can get an autograph version from Vinny and Black Bart as well. I lost track of thoughts again. Oh. So we're on Elimination Chamber, essentially.
Yeah.
Woke up, watched that. We were thoroughly enjoying it. So let's dive into that, okay?
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's. We're a wrestling podcast. Let's do this.
Right. First note that I have comes from, listen, you know how much of the pre-show I watched?
0.
The final 30 seconds before it started.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I didn't watch that much either, but...
And I'm bummed, though, because I didn't know the Kabuki Warriors and...
Indian Candace were fighting on it. If I would have known that, I would have turned it on.
DIY women, essentially.
Yeah, yep.
I would have watched. So the first thing I did see was KO holding the koala bear. It was the very first thing I saw. I'm like... And then they showed a bunch of other people holding it, dominant. But KO just looked so like he would own a koala bear.
Oh,
and I guess it's not koala bear, by the way. Because I've been throughout the week, people were like, it's just koala. It's not koala bear.
Right.
Excuse me.
Apparently they have the qualifications to talk on it. That's all I'm going to say about that.
But didn't it look like KO just owned it? Like this is his koala.
It was his koala. It looked natural on him, like he's been with him for years. It's just his pet. This is just how he travels now.
Yeah, it's his comfort pet.
It's his comfort animal. Yeah, it's his comfort service animal. Yeah,
service was the word. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, I loved it. I really did. Then we get into the matches. I'll spoil this. There's 5 segments. We'll put it that way on this card, right?
Yeah.
3 of the 5 brought it.
Mm-hmm.
2 of the 5 lackluster for me.
That's fair.
Not because it was predictable. I will ruin this right now. We got 100% across the board. So if the title was on the line, it's still Jenks's.
Right.
So we were perfect on this, which it is a predictable event every year.
Yeah, it is.
It's about the spectacle.
Right. It's about what crazy shit can they pull off inside of this thing.
And the women fucking did all of it.
Exactly. The women brought, just like the Rumble the month before, the women stood out Big time.
From Cole said has been 100 degrees all week, and tonight it's cooler. It's 75 and possible rain.
I wrote that. I'm like, oh, that's gotta suck. Not even the rain aspect. 100 degrees all fucking week, and it's humid. It might be 75, but it's brutal.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I thought we were gonna I thought the event was gonna run shorter because of that. Because
they were trying to keep
and injuries and dehydration. Essentially, I'm like, they're gonna pull this off in 2 hours. I really thought, well, not 2 hours because that whole elimination.
Right.
I thought maybe 2.5, 2:45 stretching it. No, so much more was stretched. It didn't need to be stretched, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
We know Becky wins this. Okay.
Right.
Unbelievable Becky wins this. We had Tiffy won this.
Yeah. Tiffy was the standout of the match. This was a coming out party. And she's had 3 matches on the main roster.
You followed her in NXT, and she was loved. She was hated, but loved in NXT. She did her thing. She's a champ, yada, yada, yada. If you don't watch NXT and you just see her, it is. Tiffy is going to be the breakout star of the year.
Yep.
Period.
100%. Yeah.
The crowd was going apeshit for her.
Well, so much so they chanted bullshit when she got eliminated. I mean, that's how they were all about her.
Yeah.
Like, that was their girl.
Tiffy, I'm just going to read my thing. The slingshot DDT off the chamber from Bianca. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
We're getting more slingshot stuff. Now, in normal matches, too. And I like that because Tully Blanchard's slingshot suplex to end matches was one of my favorites. It's that simple. But you just have the bounce off the ropes into the suplex.
The suplex. Perfect.
Yeah, I loved it. So adding a little bit of slingshot stuff is awesome. Liv's sit-down splash on Raquel is simple. It's still dangerous as all hell.
Oh, yeah.
I know it was from the pod, but it's still, you don't know how Raquel's going to fall. And she's just coming back from injury now.
Right.
And then the move. Tiffy with the swanton. Holy shit. Into another, and then Raquel did a slingshot powerbomb as well.
Yeah. Just unfucking believable.
I didn't think that Liv was going to be the last one left.
Yeah, but I think we talked
now, though.
It does. I think we talked about this, but it was 1, 2, 3. So, 1, 2. Bianca gets rolled up by Liv. All of a sudden, Liv turns around and is immediately out by Becky. Like, there was no chance for Liv to respond to this. And again, this adds to Liv's character in being, we always get so close, but we never get over that hump. And this building up, I think this might be a year of Liv understanding that and trying to get over that hump. Watch this be the build to WrestleMania 41 is Liv's moment of finally getting over that hump, because it's happened at last year's Rumble. It's happened before at so many other events. It's like Liv gets so close, but then she falls.
They're going to try to turn her face, though. I mean, heel, though.
Oh, 100%.
And it's not going to work.
Mm-mm.
Because she's loved, and she's that underdog.
Yep, she's that underdog. She was the remaining member of Riot Squad. I know Sarah Logan's back, but she was that remaining member of Riot Squad. She got the boost from that because she was all by herself. She was this young girl who has refined her craft over the years and has become more and more prevalent with the company. People love her. Yeah, she has had a run with the world title, but it was because of Money in the Bank. So now it's the proper build-up to see. Let's give Liv the flowers here. This is Liv's time to shine. We talked about Tiffy being the breakout star of the year. Absolutely. Because we know Liv can do it. It might be just Liv's time to just make it a full calendar year to get to WrestleMania.
Yeah. That's the story this year. Listen,
Yeah.
don't stamp them yet, but we think Becky becomes champ at Mania.
Right.
How long? We don't know.
Yeah.
I have Chelsea winning Money in the Bank to kind of transition then away from some of the. I know that all the horsewomen aren't there. Charlotte doesn't need a title. Bayley's going to have a title. Bianca, I think, is Randy Orton for a while. Beating people up, taking names, doesn't need it. She doesn't need a title either. No. She's one of the bigs now. You could slot her where Sasha was, essentially.
Right.
Doesn't need a title. She holds her own name. Liv is that next step with Tiffy right behind her then.
Yep. Oh yeah, think about it this way. It's Bianca, Liv right now are two of the pillars that are left. Whether you want to admit it or not, Becky and Charlotte have moved into more of that legend role or that icon role, more of the legend role, in that they are there to put over the talent. They're not there to continuously, now they're going to give Charlotte 16 world titles. We know that's going to happen, and she's going to get 17 to break her dad's record. But they're there to put over the talent. Now it's who's the pillars that are there for WWE. Right now, it's Bianca, it's Rhea, and it's Liv. Liv is that other one. The fourth one is up in the air. Tiffy looks primed to take it. But is she that one? I don't know. We won't know until the end of the year because there's not a clear-cut fourth female that is going to take the reins and run with it. Asuka's a decorated champion, but Asuka's also up there in age. No disrespect. Long in the tooth. She's a legend. But she's there to put people over. She's in the perfect spot to be in the Kabuki Warriors, and they are winning tag team titles right now. It could be Io. But this is Io's first settlement, and it was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I will throw another one in.
What's that?
Dakota.
Dakota could be
a player on the Liv level.
Yeah.
As soon as he comes back.
True. Because then there's layers to this. There's layers to the pillars. There's your Rhea's and your Biancas who are dominant, powerhouse. They are the Roman Reigns type characters. Then you have your workhorses that can carry the brands like Liv and like Dakota or Io, whoever ends up being in that slot, who sit there and they're your Seth Rollins, your Cody Rhodes of the bunch that are just like, okay, put it on our shoulders, we can carry it, we can go forward with it. There's always been those levels of people. Cena's time, Cena was that Roman, Orton was that workhorse.
Yep.
Whether it's just Savage and Hogan, Austin Rock, it's that level to get you where you need to be. Don't quote me as saying they're the same as Savage, Austin, Rock, whatever, right. But they're playing those roles because that's who people recognize. That's the popularity level is with those four women right now.
We said it within the last 2 weeks that WWE has a great problem, and it's the women.
Yeah.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I love Thunder. I love Britt. I love Jamie Hayters and everything. They're doing their thing in AEW. As of right now, the WWE women are outshining them. And it's not, I'm not being mean. I'm just being truthful to me. They have the layers. The layers aren't completely there in AEW yet.
Right. And they're getting ready to shake it back up. We talked about last year the inconsistencies or the unbalance of the women's division in WWE. Raw was far behind what SmackDown had talent-wise. We're starting to see that bleed into a little bit, and we're going to get that shake-up here. I'm assuming there's going to be a draft in April where that's going to shake up the brands a little bit. So that's going to help even that unbalanced nature out in that. But a lot of the Raw stars have come in their own. Chelsea Green, right out the gate. Chelsea last year would have been just thrown to the side. Now she has a special entrance. She's past just being there. She is something of a character there that people want to see and want to see get draw a line in the sand and have Raquel cross over it 14 times before she decks her in the face. People want to see that. Right. That's the role Chelsea plays, and that's fantastic for her. I made the bold prediction at the end of last year, AEW's women division would have the better year than WWE's women division. AEW's not off to a strong start, but I also think they're trying to put the pieces in place to get to that strong start. I have hope.
They can't.
They can.
Boston's now spelled with 2 S's.
Yeah, $2 signs. $2 signs. Can't imagine what that means. But, they can get there. But it's how coherent can you make your division to get there? You can add all the talent in the world, but if you're not going to have a consistent, coherent plan for them, you're going to falter. And WWE has finally, I think, figured that out with the women. So
you brought up a great point about a draft, and we're going to go on to the next match in Elimination Chamber. Hold your pants. You brought up a great point about the draft maybe being at the end of April or so. In April, end of April. Perfect people to have champions. Have it be Becky and Bayley. Mm-hmm. Because, listen, wherever you want to put them, they're going to go to the other brand anyway. They're those legends. So those are your stoic people essentially on both brands. And then Dakota's got to stay on SmackDown or in and around Bayley. Well, let's put it that way. Tiffy probably needs to stay in and around Becky. And then you can plug and play where maybe Liv's next shot is at Bayley.
Yeah.
We want Liv to have a title. At this point, it doesn't matter if it's Becky's or Bayley's. We want Liv to get her flowers. We want maybe Raquel to become a workhorse.
Right.
Tag team champion for a long time. She had a hell of a run in NXT. Maybe, and injuries involved, I understand. Maybe this is, I don't know if she can be, to me, a breakout star. She's been in and around too long to break out for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So, and again, we're forgetting to mention a name that we saw at the Rumble, squashed from Elimination Chamber. How do we write her into anything at WrestleMania now? Where's Jade fall into place? I mean, still Charlotte's lifting fucking boulders and moving Mount Rushmore essentially with her leg. So I would imagine by WrestleMania we're essentially a month from today away.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's got to be what's penciled in for her at this point. Because if Charlotte's moving shit like that, then we're moving towards it in that direction. I mean, that's 100% it. I was going to say something, and I cannot for the life of me remember what I was going to say. So
that's like the 5th time. Only one for you, but 4 for me that we're like, So
yeah, there was just something I was going to make a point off of what you said, but I guess it wasn't important enough to do that. I have another point, but I want to make it during the men's match because I think that'll help that.
So we both love that match. That's one of the 3 that we both loved.
Mm-hmm.
We have the New Catch Republic now, which love that name, by the way.
That's
I don't know why.
Great name. That is an underrated. That's like an old school type name.
Yeah, as I take a drink. Against the Judgment Day. And R-Truth ends up in Austria, by the way.
Poor R-Truth. I mean, he's trying his best.
There was an Outback Jack reference that we both like nuts about. I want Outback Jack on this podcast. However, anybody out there, if anybody has a way to reach Outback Jack, I'm begging you. Send it to me, reach out to him. I would love to speak with Outback Jack. Yeah. A little bit of a run in WWF. He's done a lot of independent stuff, yada, yada, yada. But I would love just to talk with him. It's a gimmick that didn't do anything, but it's my childhood and I can't let it go until I talk to him someday in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Reminiscent, like the whole Virgil thing hit me this week, big time. Being called wankers the whole match. Blacking out some of the match because Dom is literally being flipped off from 50 fucking thousand people.
Well, when that happened, I'm like, the fuck is happening here? I'm trying to watch this. It goes black. I thought, oh shit, Peacock's down, and then it comes back, and then I read on Twitter, oh, the whole front row's flipping off Dom, and I'm like, oh, that's magic. That is pure hatred.
New Catch Republic, within 6 months, are going to be your tag team champions.
Oh, 100%. They are cooking right now. They are something
unbelievable.
This was just an unbelievable display by them, and they've just been that good. Listen, I have gloated over the Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate matches that have just happened in NXT. First in the NXT UK tournament, and then the one in Chicago that won Pete Dunne the title away from Tyler Bate. Those have been just some of the best matches overall. I just love those matches, but to see them as a tag team, the chemistry, it's there, and it just looks so crisp and so clean. This was the best this could get hate. This is the best tag team match that Judgment Day has had in their title reign, bar none.
She's back.
It was a quick girl fight. She was like, hey, she just missed it. She loved the New Catch Republic. That's what it was.
She's going to get a tattoo of the New Catch Republic. That's her favorite team now.
I don't blame her. The big, strong boy in the cruiserweight. Hey.
She doesn't need meaty men. She likes big, strong boys.
Big, strong boys. Yeah.
Yeah. She's going to be like, what the fuck are you two talking about? That text is going to be before she pulled out of the driveway.
I 100% know that. Can I, real quick, when they were doing the overhead view, did a bird take out that camera?
I think so. I know.
The camera just goes sideways, and I'm like, the fuck is happening?
Yeah. I was so annoyed. Listen, we always gloat and raise up and give the flowers to WWE production. This was horrible. Every match we had to see the crowd. Every match we had, I don't know if there was a blimp there, but we got a blimp shot. Why? I understand, yeah, cool. People are sitting way up there that paid $9,000 for that seat. I apologize to you fans. That wasn't a great place.
Mm-mm.
To have
not. This. No. God, no. Well, you mentioned right out the first match, front row from the actual stadium seatings to the ring was a mile.
Yeah.
And then what they had on the floor
wasn't even that close.
Ringside wasn't that close either, no. It looked like it was just not well set up. But I think at the same time, that was Wembley for AEW, too. It was just those big stadiums, you run into that thing where you've got to have a mile between front row of the actual stadium seats and where the ring's at. It's just how it happens.
Yeah. And if you had top level where you and God were high-fiving, dude, you should have stayed home to watch it on Peacock. I'm being an asshole right now, but you should have stayed home. Yeah. My seat was great.
Oh, mine was lovely. I loved 5 o'clock in the morning on the couch. That was perfect by me.
Can I tell you how much I love this? I really did. Woke up, boom, wrestling on. I had the whole day of You legit had the whole day of activities, and then I went and did 2 basketball games. I went to bed at a normal time. I'm like, this is what people in London and everything get every time? This is amazing.
Well, we have to correct that.
Oh, yeah, London probably had the best time.
London had a great time, but when they have our pay-per-views, it's 1 and 2 o'clock in the fucking morning, and they're fucked for the day. But, man, I'm telling you, morning pay-per-views, sign me up.
Yeah. By the way, I did see a couple people, as we were watching, I went on, there were watch parties in, California and everything. They look slammered. Some of the people I watch on TikTok are probably not, they're as much truckers as we are, but they were slammed watching this. They rolled legit out of the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Go home and watch Elimination. We would have done the same thing. But in that day and age, I don't know if I've been able to do that. I do anybody, TNA, AEW, you want to do a 5 a.m. show in Pittsburgh? I'll go.
We'll be the only 2 there, but we'll go.
Unbelievable match, though. To get back to the match, I love this match. Like you said, I think it was probably one of the best matches Judgment Day had in their 2 reigns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that first raid, too. Because it was they lost it to Drunk Jimmy and Cody and then won it back real quick. That's right. I forgot about that.
And then they seemed
Mark's favorite segment.
Physically die. This Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Cody, Seth thing, you could have had 2 more random matches. This is where I'll say this. Bring Jade over and put her against me. Give her a squash win. Like, this was way too long.
Yeah.
I had lost interest halfway through it. Because it was just, they booked it as a fucking 25-minute match to boot.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
I give you credit for making it halfway. I lost interest almost immediately.
Well,
because
nice.
I know, but I won't. There's no meat and potatoes. So it was Waller poking the bear, and then Cody and Seth poking the bear right back, and then issuing the challenge to the Bloodline. That's it.
Which they already initiated it during the Vegas
press conference. Yeah. So there's no need to do this again. So we're just sitting here waiting 25 minutes to kind of give Grayson Waller his time to shine in front of his home country. I would have been fine if they did the Waller effect for 5 minutes and then had an impromptu match for 15.
Why not have the female versions of DIY and the Kabuki Warriors have their match now?
Yeah, do this on the pre-show.
This could have been 5 minutes, and you could have given the girls 20 minutes for the tag team championships. And then have, I don't know, anything else on the pre-show. Anything. Yeah. Ivar against Otis again. Right. The pre-show is the pre-show. People are still coming in as the pre-show's happening. Listen, you get there early if you want to watch a pre-show.
Well, exactly. You're there basically. It's just a free match for people that are in the stands to have something to watch until the main show starts. You had one guy that just came over to fucking cost people title shots, so just give him a match for 10 minutes. Make him actually. Yeah. You just gave him legendary hater status at this point because he just flew over there and fucking cost somebody the title in the next match.
Yeah. So this sucked. That's one of the things that sucked. Which continued to linger for the men's.
Yeah. I mean, the men's had a couple good spots. But
the CM Punk chant?
Before
the match even started?
Listen, the Punk chant, before I get to that one I'm thinking in my head, hey, at least they were bouncing people's heads off pods. KO tried to punch through the pod. That was pretty cool. And then
drawing on the pod.
Logan Paul's drawing horns on the pod. KO's doing choke slams for kids now, which is a fantastic program. I'm not making fun of it. It's just, that was great. I was like, why is he doing this choke slam? And then they explained it. I'm like, okay, that's wholesome. The man holds koalas and does things for children. This is a quality human being in the ring.
But it's
right now.
Choke slams for kids. Like it's,
I know, it's the way it sounded.
It's like front arm bars or clotheslines. It's got the word choke slam.
It's a choke slam for kids. It's just a nice program that really helps out kids. This is where I made this thought during the men's. Uh-oh, what did I do? Okay.
You turned the camera off. Now it's back on.
I don't know. I have no idea what I hit. Anyways, they should just give 2 people the headsets and the pods. And I don't know if I said this last year, and let them, if you have Logan Paul and KO just chirping back and forth at each other, I'm entertained.
Make it 5 and 6 going into the ring, too.
5 and 6 going into the ring, and then just be like, oh shit, I'm in. And then flip the headset off, go. Because you mic up everybody else, so let's mic up some guys in the pods and just let them fucking commentate the match. I enjoy people commentating.
Yep.
KO is pretty good at it.
Yeah.
So, do you imagine how this match would have picked up if KO, Logan, Drew's on a legendary hater run of his own? These guys are having the microphone just talking into them. And
you just put Mike in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Let him chirp.
Let him chirp. It's perfect. Let it come out in the podcast, in the match. Or give an alternate broadcast where you're just listening to them chirp. Like they do for Pat McAfee on college football games.
Yeah. Or Eli and Peyton on Monday nights.
Exactly.
That's the stuff that people want now. Nothing against Cole and Graves, because I love them. I really do.
Yeah.
But a specialty match like this that you probably couldn't do it in the Rumble, but this is a specialty match where mics can easily be put around. And you tell the superstars when you're going through the walkthroughs in the morning, see the mics, let's not do spots around those.
Yeah. Don't do spots around them. Keep your language clean. Talk as much as you want while you're in that pod.
Yeah.
You want to beat the shit out of that guy?
And then you can say whatever you want.
Exactly. Oh, that was the point I was going to make earlier about the women. And I'll bring it back after the show. We'll bring it back on Raw. Remind me of that. But that was where the point was going to come into. But yeah, the men's, until AJ broke into the chamber, it kind of dulled off.
Yeah.
A lot.
It was because of the dead segment before this. It really was. The Theory Waller thing killed this match. How do you get hyped for, we got an hour before we get the winner?
I get Theory is very good in the ring. But he is like watching paint dry trying to talk on the microphone. And I think that's what killed it. If this was just Waller with Seth and Cody, and it was only 5 to 10 minutes long, done. We're good.
Yeah.
But it really just killed the vibe
of the pay-per-view.
Yeah. It never recovered.
Premium live event. And it didn't recover. And the downfall, it hurt the main event, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, Rhea kind of brought it back, hometown girl, yada, yada, yada. But I think I said it to you Saturday morning. And I said it again. After the tag match with Judgment Day, I wasn't in. I was completely, I'm like, oh, fuck. This is going to be a 4-hour show.
Yeah.
I have 2 more hours to sit here and think, I could be playing 2K23. I could be scrubbing my frog or anything.
Your frog. I mean,
my fish needs a bath. Anything else.
To your point, I think if they didn't have the talk show segment, the men's wouldn't have been that bad.
Right.
Because there was a lot of things set up. But
there was. And you're right. And I do like that AJ was there because we were questioning what him and LA Knight were both going to do.
Yeah.
Well, now we now know.
We know that. And then they went totally left field on us. Logan Paul and Randy Orton.
Yeah. Randy's getting U.S. title?
Maybe. Or is Randy just putting over somebody? Because we talked on Saturday morning. I get he played possum towards the end, but I do think his back is hurting him a lot more. Yep. I don't think he's around that long. I think he only came through until Mania for trips and said, I'm going to get you to Mania and then I gotta go. I can't do this.
Take a little bit more, maybe more of a break. Maybe he is
on part-time.
And I'm not making a comparison, so get it out of your head. We lost a Brock Lesnar style person. We lost the Undertaker style person. Essentially, Brock took over for the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Is Randy that?
Randy becomes a showcase. That showcase marquee match.
It can still go, but can only go every 6 months.
Yeah.
Or a couple, you know what I mean.
Well, yeah.
Corey Graves, Mr. Levesque, if you're nasty.
Yeah.
After you said it,
yeah. I was dying.
Thanks, Corey, for giving us a listen, by the way. I don't know how you got it. the podcast prior to. Maybe he listened to it on like 10 speed.
And he might have.
Not on a 10 speed bike.
Yeah.
But on 10 speed, and he was like, wait, oh my God, Jenks just said, if you're nasty, I'm going to use that. Shit like that doesn't pop up. And I'm being dead serious about this. How does that happen? It happens a lot with us. It really does. If it's just
there's a lot of coincidence,
whatever, I think I call bullshit on it.
Yeah, it's a lot of coincidence. I'll say this, timing wise, it could have worked out, but I don't know. Mr. Levesque, if you're nasty, is just something that was off the cuff and it worked.
Yeah, 52,590. Is now where they announced and I said they could have gotten another 50,000 in there. Easily. Without even breaking a fire code. Easily. We get to the main event of Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. Again, Rhea, it just shows, one, her dominance, and two, she made Nia look formidable.
Nia looked really good in this match. Thanks to Rhea.
Yeah.
Rhea can make people look really good very quickly. And she can also make non-wrestling fans root for Nia Jax. So that's because at this time Kimberly joined me and she's like, she was not the Nia Jax or the Rhea presentation. She's like, nope, not my style. And she was all about Nia winning this thing. And I'm like, oh, honey. You're gonna get disappointed at the end of this.
Yep.
You're gonna get you gotta stay on this weekly Raws. But yeah, so she was rooting for Nia, and just didn't work out.
I like the moments at the end that they did cut it out, hanging with their family and everything. That they gave them to everybody in the world, not just the hometown crowd.
Yeah,
I enjoyed this match. I'm not saying match of the year or anything, but
it was good.
After the hour and a half that we just had, it was refreshing. And then Rhea it's sad to say that I'm on the Rhea bandwagon because she has been putting stuff together because she is working with Nia. She's doing stuff with Becky now. For 6 months, she had a women's title that wasn't a women's title. It was a belt for her.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I'm like, oh man, this is the end of Rhea though.
Yeah.
In about a month.
Right on the train as soon as she's about to get off of it and do her own thing now. Which could be amazing. It could be. It could very well be amazing. I mean, that's the name of the game though with Rhea. I think she's more, I won't say underrated, but I think underutilized in that regard because she took Nia, turned it into a formidable opponent, turned it into something that was a very good match, which Nia is not known for. Let's be honest. So the fact that she's done that, it kind of speaks volumes. If you look back at what she's done in the past, she puts on great matches with those that aren't held in the highest esteem from fans. She does elevate people to another level, and that's what she is good at. And it's unfortunate that it's probably coming to an end here soon, but at the same time, I wish we would add more of it.
Yeah, I really do. I wish maybe it was her and Becky last year at SummerSlam to roll over and to do a repeat at the Rumble, and then it turns into they had Jade in their pocket then. Maybe it could have been Jade or Raquel, and injuries all play into this, and yada, yada, yada. Steph being booked out for a year, and I will always say that. It's not. Things happen. So, but this could be a skyrocket for Rhea. I know she's on a skyrocket, but losing it to Becky could mean more if she transitions to people like Bianca.
Oh, and that's the $1 million question. I think that becomes a question. When does Bianca versus Rhea happen? Are we
Cleveland?
Yeah, right. Is it 41? Is it 42? What? what is it, because they have a long-term plan in mind, and they know we are keeping Bianca and Rhea away from each other for as long as possible. They have the talent to do that, but at some point, they are going to cross, and they are going to face each other, and it's going to be quote me now, it'll be the main event of that WrestleMania.
It'll definitely be when Rebecca Quinn isn't there, though.
Fair. Because Rebecca Quinn is the face that runs that place right now.
Yep. I agreed. All right, overall, will you give it on a 6-pack?
I'll go 3.5.
Yeah, exactly.
That middle section took it down way too much for me. Yeah.
A lot.
First two matches, all right, we're going 5 or then it brought it down. Yeah, it doesn't recover from there. 3.5.
Yeah, agreed. 3.5 because of Rhea, too.
Mm.
If Rhea and Nia had a fight match, essentially, I probably would have went 2.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I'm going to throw this out there, too. I talked about giving pay-per-views going away. I think they only need one chamber match a year. I don't care whether you pick it. I don't care who you pick it for. Do men one year, women the other. Or separated by 6 months. It's got to be. I think the men also suffered because it had to compete with what the women did.
Women did. The women's chamber was my match of the night.
Exactly. Women's chamber was match of the night. But what are you supposed to do in the men's? Besides throw people through glass pods. I mean, that's all they had.
You didn't have like Kofi in there for the big pod moves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a power chamber compared to spectacle. And sometimes I like spectacle more than power ones.
Yeah, agreed. I think spectacle ones are better than 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Than the power ones.
Because they physically use the cage. They use the pods. They use their atmosphere. The guys use the plexiglass. That's been done.
Yeah. The best chamber match that's ever been is probably the first one, and it had somebody that styled off of everything. Van Dam utilizing things differently off pods and chain link. You had, Jericho who could climb the side, but would take the bump through the pod. You had powerhouses. You had Kane to drive people through it. And then you had Shawn and Triple H to drive the match to where it needed to go. And Booker T was in there too for his own measure. But it's when you combine those elements, it makes it a very enjoyable chamber match. But if you stay on one's athletic and one's powerhouse, you're missing a whole opportunity.
Agreed. We don't have to break down Raw match by match or anything. You want to do like hot takes on it?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, Drew, just fucking slap CM Punk in the dick at this point. I don't know what are you doing? Like, this is, at this point, it's just building up Drew versus CM Punk in 8 months. Mania next year's Survivor Series Royal Rumble. Drew, I mean, he didn't have to travel across the world to punch somebody in the back. I mean, he just sat in the ring and fucking shit on him, and Drew is having the best time of his life right now.
Did Drew resign, or is Drew still on a handshake event by event? Did I hear his client? Like, so much lingers around Drew that it's MJF sort of kind of.
Yes.
Yeah. He may be in line for Wrestler of the Year right now. I know we're 2 months and a day in. He's having the best male
He is going for it. It literally is the best male right now. The most entertaining male that there is out there right now. He's doing it. And he's happy about it.
The Punk injury helped him.
Oh, 100%. It added the fuel that he needed to continue this. You can only do so much with Seth, but now that Punk went down, well, light it on fire and throw gasoline on it.
Yeah. Let me bounce one at you. Shins and Sammy. I've shit on Shins for months now. This was a nice match. I still can't take him as a formidable opponent against anybody. But these two can, bake cookies, roast marshmallows, and tie shoes and make it look amazing.
Yeah.
Because they're amazing workers.
Oh, yeah. Ever since NXT Dallas, when they first faced off, it's been match. Every time they're on, it's just one of the best things that's going to be on the card that night. And you're right, with Shins, I think he had to win the Seth feud to be thought of as legitimate at this point. Now he's just some guy that is mysterious and will mist people if he gets the opportunity at this point. But Sammy's on a roll. Sammy's going to get a shot here at something. What it is?
I see.
Maybe.
I see you.
I see you. I would think, he would get that opportunity. But then again, where does that leave Gunther? Because Drew is on the path to take that away from Seth. We said Gunther was the guy that would do this. I don't think they'll let him linger for 6 months without a title.
I don't either.
And we know, but then again, it's also saying that Punk might be getting the title away from Drew in 6 months.
What do you think? Drew, let's throw this out there. Drew wins at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get rid of the fucking Money in the Bank. It's now way too long, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They lose the titles night one. Excuse me. Have their own falling out night one then. Damian solidifies that he's done by taking it off of Drew at some point.
Maybe. I mean, my running theory is now maybe Drew doesn't win, but Drew just beats the shit out of Seth the night after WrestleMania, and then Damian walks in and just cashes in and walks out.
And then you can have a meeting of Gunther and Priest. I still think we're on the line of Gunther getting it. I don't know if it's whatever. Probably not Backlash.
Right.
Fastlane's following then, or Money in the Bank. Why not there?
Well, it could be Backlash. I mean, it's in Europe. It's in France. Why not?
Right?
Because Drew and Seth, they're going to have
is long from having this title as soon as he drops his IC title.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
But he has a list of people now that are now solidified as. I think Gunther doesn't lose the IC title. I think WrestleMania turns into a 25-man fucking scramble, where it's Sammy that pins Gable, or Bronson pins one of them. Gunther does not take a loss prior to getting the title.
I mean, the other flip side is they do a 8-man ladder match, and Gunther loses it there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a loss on it, but he wasn't pinned. He wasn't submitted. He's taken out of the match.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a pin in a one-on-one contest.
Yeah. And then maybe that leaves him and Bronson at the next pay-per-view to kind of square away, because they both went through a table and they're mad at each other. And I'm saying Bronson because he's a big guy, to continue to make Gunther look like the beast that he is. And he's like, I'm tired of playing with these little people.
Mm-hmm.
And he attacks Drew or Priest at that time.
Yep. And he takes his big step towards winning the title or whatnot.
Yeah. Your next one?
I gotta give props to the New Day and Imperium. That street fight, throwing, HBK 2002 vibes, going through tables with elbows and shit. And that was a fucking good. That was not fucking good. That was a great street fight.
It really was.
It
was
really
more
good.
than I expected on a Raw.
Yep, exactly. They let it all hang out and they went for it in that match. Very, very impressed by it.
That's all I got. But I'm not saying this mean against Rhea and Becky. We've seen that. We knew these promos, and it wasn't even great. Behind every great man is a better woman, and Mommy is always on top. All right, fine. We get it.
That's exactly what you said.
We're going to get these until Mania. This was the first one. It was,
It was, because we've already done it. We've done this first step 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. In Vegas.
This should have been done here in San Jose, in Vegas, but also on Raw, too. They did this whole thing on Raw. This should have not happened until this point, until it's San Jose. Then you can have these lackluster ones down the line, but by that point, you're already rolling and you're already getting attacks and you're going back and forth, da-da-da-da-da. So, they just poorly timed it out, I think.
Yeah. I think pulling the trigger, and I know we said it, they had their press conference in Vegas because it was Super Bowl weekend. Mm-hmm. Why not? But hey, you guys want to see some wrestling stuff? Cool. 9 million people went into the arena to watch it. You essentially announced that Becky was winning the Elimination Chamber that day, 3 weeks prior to the Elimination Chamber, that she didn't qualify for yet. Mm-hmm. You've already announced that she won it.
Yeah.
Have this press conference this past week.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just saying.
Exactly.
It makes more sense.
They could have waited.
Yeah. Even the Rock stuff could have waited until this week or next. Or whatever. I understand you're coming back from Perth, San Jose, drop off, wherever you want to go. You want to go to Cleveland to do it. You want to go to Toronto, by the way. Toronto, we love you. Go do it in Toronto, wherever.
Go do it in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Do it somewhere.
Right.
Just do it after Perth, after Elimination Chamber. That's the problem, is they take the suspense out of Elimination Chamber. It's because they've been releasing this stuff so early, and it's like, we're on the road to WrestleMania, but let us get to the first gas station on that road first. Before we have to add gas. Before we have to add the gas. We can't add it while we're on the road. That doesn't make any sense.
Right. That's all I got from WWE.
Yeah, that's everything I got.
All right. Time to give AEW some love. We'll do some Collision, we'll do some Dynamite, and then we'll make our predictions for tomorrow night's Revolution, which a couple weeks ago I was excited about. Now I don't know again. Yes, I'm buying it. It's actually already bought. But I'm like, because there's injuries, there's timeouts, there's this, there's that. I think some of the card is weakened.
Hey, this is Baby Doll, your perfect tan. And if you wanted to listen to some wrestling talk, listen to the Can Crushers.
Welcome back to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that won't say, fuck your story. That's Mark the Mark. I'm Sir Michael Jenks. It's AEW time, and it's time for some Collision Dynamite before we get to the revolution of it all.
Before we get to wrestling, March 1st is always a huge day in the Martinez family. Do you know what happened around here on March 1st?
No, do I?
We usually stock up in October.
Oh my God, it's that time of year, isn't it?
Dairy Queen opened up.
Oh my God in heaven. You know what? I had that conversation with my mother today, earlier on, and she's like, is Whippy Dip open yet? I go, because that's the local ice cream shop up here. I'm like, no, not yet. You got another month till that's
really
open. Yeah, they don't open at Sarah's, which is a diner food place up here. Whippy Dip, all the ice cream stands do not open till April 1st at the earliest. So we're still, Dairy Queen's open all year round up here. So down there, they close. Yeah, we are. By the way, when did Dairy Queen get all these different flavors of dilly bars?
This year.
Because we walked into a Dairy Queen a couple weeks ago, and there's strawberry, there's like
birthday cake,
and like mint, and I'm like, what the fuck did this happen?
Yeah, this year.
I was just blown away by that.
I'm excited. Miggy and Max stay with the cherry dillies. That's their favorites.
Yeah.
But we don't go over the first day because listen, the parking is hopefully they go over tomorrow before I get out of work. Bring something home for me.
Oh, so you're sending them on the mission to go get it.
Well, one works 7 to 3 as I do, and then who knows, maybe I'll be out longer or whatever. But one doesn't work. Junior. So get your little tail over there. Take the doggos for a ride. They'll be happy. Yeah. I want not that he's listening to this, but I want my New York cheesecake blizzard. By the way, have you had, I've only had 2 this year so far, and it blown my mind that I've only had 2 Shamrock Shakes so far this year since they've come out, which
I haven't had any, but I've also given up sweets for Lent, which has gone horribly wrong because I have a motherfucking birthday in the middle of that fucking thing. By the way, I did well first 10 days. I had cake, obviously, for my birthday.
Your birthday is a special day. Like,
yeah. Well, there's layers to this. So, like a cake or an ogre. Anyways, but I obviously had cake my birthday and the day after. I went to work on Monday, felt like I had the worst hangover of my life, and I had not been drinking. Like, the sugar hangover was dreadful.
It's worse than alcohol.
Oh, it is. It's really bad. It was like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, ugh, I feel like shit. But I digress. We talked about this before I gave up sweets and all that. I really want to get the dilly bar. I want to get a Buster bar from Dairy Queen. I need those Buster bars back in my life. That hot fudge layer, the peanut layer. Oh, man. I need these back. But then the Buster dilly bars got all these goddamn flavors, and I'm like, well, I got to try that one. I got to try cherry. I got to try mint. Got to try butterscotch or whatever the hell the yellow one was. It was, yeah. So is the Buster bar your favorite thing? And this is all brought up because Sammy and Hobbs had a no DQ match, by the way. That's what brought up That was exactly it. That's exactly what brought us back to this. I love blizzards, but since up here you can get those all year round. I try to save the Buster bars, which obviously you can get all year round. I try to save Buster bars.
Will you stop rubbing it in my face? I know.
I just want to say all year round. Did you know I can get dilly bars all year round? It's fantastic.
Can you mail them to the dogs at least then?
Nah, say they'll melt. I can't sacrifice those like that. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. The Buster bar I think is my favorite thing because that's what. Well, it's probably because my dad. That was his favorite bar there. He would only buy those. That's all we had in the house when we went to DQ. It was a special treat. It was the Buster bar bust. And we're like, okay, well, I guess we're having Buster bars, and they're fantastic. So
they really are.
Yeah,
they really.
But you love the dilly bars, though.
Well, no, right? The dogs do.
Okay, that's fair.
The dogs do. My favorite thing, and it is the generic of generic. It's a Nerds Blizzard. The Nerds Blizzard. I definitely want the cheesecake one first because I'm a heathen for cheesecake. But my staple, they know you can bring me a Nerds Blizzard every day. Yeah. They don't go bad. It's just hard candy, the hardest of pounded down sugar that you can possibly get with some random flavoring on it.
Yeah.
And ice cream.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. Kimberly's, she has gotten on a Heat bar kick lately. So the Heat Blizzard, She's been really big about that.
It's underrated. It is.
It is underrated for sure.
The Heath bar itself.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It never gets talked about. Oh, that's a great start to AEW, right? I mean, that Hobbs and Sammy match.
They didn't have DQ since November either. That's why.
They didn't. They haven't. They've been deprived.
Unbelievable match, by the way. But I do have to, before we get to the match, are we getting Mark Henry and Hobbs? Because why is this the world's strongest slam all of a sudden?
I don't know. Like, is it Mark Henry and Hobbs, or is it going to be like revealed, oh, it's not going to be his son, but Mark Henry is mentoring Hobbs somehow, some way. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot of homage being paid to Mark Henry through Hobbs, which is just a little odd.
From out of nowhere. Because he was Callis. That's like, I don't think the Callis family is lasting long.
I don't think it's getting past Sunday, to be honest, and we'll get there.
Right. I agree. Two of them are definitely out. But this match was amazing. It really was. All the table spots. Tony Schiavone sold the monitor. Listen, not that I've been hit by a monitor, but it was like throwing a 500-pound of concrete. He hit him with a monitor. It almost reminded me when Dusty was on commentary for a hardcore match and he yelled pizza pan. And I mean, like, the flimsy, these pizza pans that we buy at the store, the throwaway ones, that's what they were using back then. They weren't using, like, real pizza pans. It had a face impression of, I think, Steve Blackman on it. So not that it didn't hurt, but it didn't do damage. And Dusty sold that like it was Jesus Christ coming down hitting with a bolt of lightning or something. Like he was dead. That's the way Tony announced this monitor. But I love that he took the belt off of Kevin Kelly. This was a good DQ match.
Yeah. They've hit it. They hit it with these specialty matches a lot. And I think it's because they go outside the box with them. And this was no exception. The belt off Kevin Kelly. That's, who the fuck's thinking of that? Who's thinking about stripping the commentator to get a fucking thing on this? But and then to that point, the commentators, they're not selling the next match. They're selling this match. And I think that the AEW commentary team does a great job of doing that. Other places, they sell you the next match. Rein it in. Live in the moment, and I think that kind of helped it with this as well. This is the first time I've heard Schiavone on commentary in a while that he was excited, he was engaged. He didn't seem like he was a third wheel, just repeating what Excalibur was saying. Schiavone hits those high notes on Collision because he's allowed to do his own thing there. He's not a follower to what's going on.
Agreed. We get essentially back and forth between BCC, if you're going to talk about the promo, I know because they're your boys, essentially back and forth between BCC and FTR. FTR did have a match against Shane Taylor Promotions, which was good, but it was just to get to what they said at the end.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's nothing else that I'm not going to say anything on it. I think it's just, we knew that Shane Taylor Productions was not going to take over, was not going to win this thing. It wasn't going to be anything. This is setting up FTR and BCC, which happened, and it happened last Wednesday. I'm trying to get my dates, sorry. So it happened last Wednesday, went to a draw. Now we have to get it back to where it's going to take off at Revolution again. It's just setting up the big pissing contest between BCC and FTR, which I have a theory on as well. But I'll get there when I get there.
In the predictions,
yes. Because to me, this is just, you're stepping up. It's monos, excuse me, because I got to add plural to this. It's just four guys trying to beat the shit out of each other at this point. They have to prove that they're better than the other team. So they're going to the promo is the best case of that is, we're better than you. We may have drawn, but we're better than you at that point.
They don't need to do this for this match, though.
No.
Exactly. That's my point to my long soliloquy. This match sells itself. They just need to get them on TV to say, hey, don't forget we have probably the match of the night coming up Saturday.
Right.
Not lying. Listen.
True. There's only, I think, one other match that'll counter that. Maybe two. Maybe two.
Maybe. Thunder Rosa beats up Lady Bird Monroe. I wanted to make sure I mentioned her. She's doing great things in the independents. If you've not ever seen Lady Bird Monroe, type her name in YouTube, watch her shit. I just wanted to give her a shout out. I mean, we knew Thunder was going to win this, but Lady Bird is phenomenal.
Yeah. I got nothing else to say on that.
No, I didn't know if you wanted to jump in.
Yeah.
After that, I hate to be a Debbie Downer. There was just filler. There was a lot of filler on AEW this week. A lot of chaos on AEW this week.
Yeah. Well, I have to give out shout out to whichever one of the fucking Iron Savages it was that sold the Famouser like he had just been a whale out of water type thing, because that motherfucker took it and then flipped out of the ring just out of nowhere.
Better than Shawn Michaels.
100% better than Shawn Michaels selling Hulk Hogan moves at SummerSlam 05. Like, he just fucking, but to your point, I had to shout that out, but you're right, it was filler, and that's hard to say when you had Brian Keith and Malachi Black, but even then it didn't seem like it got over that hump. Yeah, and I don't know if they were holding back because they didn't want to give that thing, or because it was Malachi's first singles match in at least a year.
Yeah.
I would think. So, but you're absolutely right. It was a lot of filler, a lot of, we need to highlight what certain stars along the line here. And that's exactly what it was.
I thought when Deeb, after she beat Lady Frost, by the way, shout out Lady Frost, we love you, Pittsburgh gal, I thought Deeb and Rosa were going to kind of mix it, because they had the same promo at the end.
Yeah.
They're both here, they're both going to take over the women's division, yada, yada, yada. Thunders seemed real. Deeb seemed like, you guys finished the match 45 seconds too fast. Give her the mic and say something. And she's like, I said this same thing last week, but I'm going to say it again. I'm here to elevate and beat people up. Now, I love Serena Deeb. I do. She is the Dean Malenko of the women. She is the, the catch can, all of that. Don't give her the mic every week.
No. Just let her do her thing and then walk away. That's what they did for Dean. Dean didn't talk a lot. There's a reason for that. But
it was rough.
Same thing with Serena. Yeah, it's a little rough, a little forced, a lot of that. Let me ask you this, going back, because I think Thunder, I saw this. There's a lot of theories going on that Thunder's joining Rush's group based on, raising the fist and trying to put that out there. What are you thinking? What did you think?
I think that would be great. I've let that simmer for a while because I'm like, well, it is Thunder. Her whole mannerisms and everything. The wrestling community has taken it, and I'm like, I don't think it would be bad. Mm-mm. I don't. I think the sprinkling of the women, especially, listen, AEW is compacted of factions. If you're not in a faction in AEW, you're kind of floating by yourself. I mean, there's a forced faction, and I know you're going to probably yell at me, of Willow and Stat.
No.
6 months ago, they hated each other.
Yeah.
Well, shit, we don't know what to do with them right now. We've gotten over the Julia and Sky thing. Oh, shit, Julia gets hurt. Oh, they don't like this. Julia kind of went on the shelf for a little bit. Sky cannot carry this, so let Julia just be around, face both of them. Oh, shit, we have Stokely that we're paying nothing. It just doesn't feel good. Because Stat was your girl last year.
Stat was my girl last year, and they were their girls too, but that's all I'm saying. Yeah, but Stoke, once Stokely started chasing Stat to manage her, basically to get closer to her, you knew that was forced. It was just something disgusting. But you brought up an interesting point. It's gang warfare in AEW. You have people have your back or you don't. That's why you see Garcia jumping from team to team to team to team, because he needs people to defend himself, to help defend him from this other things. He's recognizing that it's gang warfare out there. If you don't have a faction, you're not doing well.
By the way, it's Bloods and Crips at your house all of a sudden.
Kimberly's got to be home. That's the thing.
To get on to the main event, though, which turned out to be one hell of a banger, Danielson with Kingston on commentary. Listen, Eddie talks like me and you. Here I am. He should probably not be on commentary. Sometimes we probably shouldn't have a podcast. Continue to listen to the Can Crushers. That's all I'm going to keep saying. This was a great match, though. Hard-hitting catches, catch can. We knew what was going to happen. We knew the handshake at the end. We knew all of that. But just to sit in the moment and just enjoy that match, it was a banger.
It was a banger. And it was...
Everybody knows you were on mute.
Stopped. Yeah, they stopped, too.
You were on mute.
It was a banger. It was really great. I got to consolidate my words here. It was a banger. It was a really good match. But again, it was to get to the end point, which it would, you know what I'm going to say. It was a banger, and it got to the end point where Bangkok. You know, it got to the capital of Thailand. So it got to where it needed to go to drive home the Danielson and Kingston match going forward.
So Collision good overall. A little bit of hiccup in the middle. Now let's transition to Dynamite. Come on. This was Hangman comes out, and maybe we'll do highlights of Dynamite because highlight turned out to be the Elimination Chamber. It was good. What the fuck are we doing? Oh, all right. Hangman comes out with a crutch that's not even underneath his arm. He's got cowboy boots on with an injury. To look at it like that, this is the overplayed story that once he started pouting, I don't mean pouting, that he might not be in the match. I'm like, well, Swerve's coming out. I was shocked that Joe came out. But you had to get the attention of Swerve onto somebody else so Hangman could jump him.
Exactly.
I knew exactly that Swerve was going to be beat down the second that Hangman came out and said, I might not wrestle. Yeah, I might not have a podcast either.
The writing was on the wall at that point. Yeah, might not have a podcast. The writing was on the wall. I swear to God. But yeah, I mean, the Poncho comment to everything about it, you knew they were too buddy-buddy. Like, they got too much respect for each other. Like, Swerve, what you doing here, man? Be smart about this.
Right? My God. Hopefully Kimberly is home at your house, and you just don't have hooligans from collar and elbow breaking.
I gotta go look. I don't know.
So what's going on at your house?
There's a lot going on at my house. Apparently, right now, as we're recording, is the perfect time to plant a flower. So,
it's gonna be pretty dark.
Just say there's some flashlights being used to do this, so I digress. Dynamite is what's going on.
BCC against FTR and Kingston. Listen, on paper, it's a great match. This was a teaser for Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
100%. It was a teaser of two matches for Saturday. It was perfect. I mean, it did what it needed to do. It gave us that nice little taste of what was to come. I was surprised that Danielson choked out Kingston, made him pass out. I thought there would be some other hook by crook, but, you know, that was interesting the way it went down.
We get Jericho clips about CMLL, and then he comes on and he's going to challenge, what the hell is his name? I forgot. Atlantis Jr., essentially. And then we forgot that happened. An hour later, we get the match. Jericho wins. And Jericho wins. They hug at the match and see you later.
Jericho won a 45-minute match that didn't need to be 45 minutes. At least felt like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it did.
Like, cool. I thought there was going to be a heel turn. The way they were talking to each other and looking at each other at the end. Atlanta Senior.
Junior is still selling that back issue, by the way, today.
Junior has fully committed to the bit. He's getting surgery, getting consults. That was the best level job I've seen on AEW in my life.
Yeah, for sure. Ospreay comes out. He's happy to be elite. The airline lost his bags, and he looks like a frog on leg day, is what he said. That goes in the stupid shit award.
It does. It literally does.
It's one of the contenders right now.
I love that. By the way, no knock to Alabama, but Will Ospreay just debuts in Alabama of all places, right?
Right.
Like
England, Alabama's the closest.
Yeah, England, Alabama, they're neck and neck. They're the same thing at that point.
Where are they this week? Well, he wouldn't have a match. Well, he could have just phoned it in with a promo, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I'll see you at Revolution.
Yeah, see you at Revolution.
Because the awkward hugs that already gave us, hey, Ospreay is not with Gallus after Sunday night.
Yeah. Oh. To me, this is where it all comes in. There's no way this family's lasting through Sunday night.
No. Hobbs is going to go with Mark Henry. It probably will still be Takeshita and Callis.
Yeah, if Fletcher ever finds his way back from his visa issues, I really think it's going to be Fletcher, Ospreay, maybe Mark Davis. They go and do their own thing as Aussie Empire.
Yeah.
Or United Empire, not Aussie Open on United Empire, but
same people. The Open International Challenge took place because there was no meaty men there.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no meaty men to slap meat, so.
Some were injured, which you should have known. Some you forgot the book.
Yep.
Which is on you. And some just couldn't make it.
Yeah. So.
Wouldn't you have known that a week ahead of time?
You would think. Well, even a couple weeks ahead of time. Maybe. Well, especially one that apparently happens in September.
Right. What? How the hell does that happen?
Exactly. Don't book a match for Meat Madness and then not have half the meat.
This match was not supposed to happen. This is the match that took over for it.
Yeah.
And then right after this match, not directly after this match, but close enough. Hey, we're going to have an 8-man scramble with, 8 guys that we're making up tomorrow night, by the way. But here's the graphic of the people already in the match. Oh, shit, these people are not qualified yet. They have to have qualifying
matches.
This was pure chaos.
It was a legitimate scramble.
You don't scramble on live TV unless there's like a legit. You knew they weren't there when they didn't show up to the event 5 hours before the event.
Yeah, I agree.
The Bang Bang Scissor Gang's not lasting past Sunday either.
Mm-mm.
Spoiler. We get another Willow Stat Sky thing that was rough, I would say.
To say the least. To say the least.
It was rough. Let's just get to the main event, essentially, of the Young Bucks are headed to the ring. They've looked all night looking for Sting. They go into the
rumor bats.
Yeah. I knew. The room of bats hanging told me Sting was dropping down.
Yeah. The one last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
He looked rough.
Oh, he did look rough. Also, I don't like that the Ric Flair thing was paid off this week. Like, it didn't make any sense to do it here.
Is he not going to be in North Carolina now?
Maybe. Little odd that he wouldn't be.
Right. why not have them, if they had this meeting, why not have them walk out with the Bucks and turn on the Bucks mid-match?
Yeah. Well, exactly. That was my point. You can have this happen, but do it at the pay-per-view. Make it make sense at the pay-per-view.
Okay, so you beat up 90-year-old Ric Flair to have Sting drop down, hit 2 bats, hit the reverse DDT.
Yeah.
He didn't even woo. Apparently,
no,
he spoke after the event saying, hey, I love everybody, yada, yada, all of that. My big thing is, very early in the show, when they were announcing that Sting was going to be there tonight, I don't know if it was a slip-up or if it was just miswords, and I'm not throwing him under the bus, but I looked into this. It will be the last time Sting will be on Dynamite, comma, as an active AEW wrestler, comma. So yes, he's retiring. We're getting Sting again.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think he was ever going to go away fully from AEW, but I guess now the question becomes, is he just a manager?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Do you want to do predictions? We've beaten AEW bad.
We beaten up AEW. Let's do it. Are you coming for the champion's throat here?
Why not?
I've
tried you twice. I think it's time, right?
It's time. It's time. It's not Vader time. It's not Tiffy time. It's time for Mark to come for the throne.
6-pack on the line, bitches.
Or as we've come to call it in this house, Bixt. Away we go. Now there's only 9 I'm saying only 9 matches announced on AEW's website. As of now, we know historically they will add 14 more between Rampage recording night and Sunday when they actually go live with the pay-per-view.
So the bet is on the 9 matches that we have right now.
Yes, on the 9 matches we have now. All right. I got to start with the meat scramble that has become the 8-man egg scramble, cheese, eggs Benedict thing that's right now. There's 6 competitors named: Jericho, Hobbs, Archer, Wardlow, Cage, and Hook. Who you got?
The only person that's in the meat scramble in this scramble was Wardlow.
Yeah, well, now I'll give Hobbs and Archer had a brief triple threat at some point in this match with Wardlow, and then that got changed to the 8-man scramble. So, whatever. So, Wardlow?
I have to.
I'm going Wardlow, too. It's just not. All right. Next up, let's go.
It's that easy. Listen,
It's not going past that.
That may be a bathroom break.
Yeah,
I hate to say it.
You would think it. Yeah, because honestly, that's the lowest point on the card right now. It's that bad.
Yes.
I mean, there was potential when they had the triple threat to it being the 5-man meat madness thing.
Right.
But yeah. All right. TNT title, Christian Cage, who loves to call out where people are laid to rest and their addresses with that. Versus,
by the way, he's going to be at Comic-Con or Steel City Con in April in Pittsburgh.
Is he really?
Just announced. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Are you going to go see Christian Cage?
I don't have him. I don't know. It's like $50 to get in, and I'm sure he's going to be like
100 probably.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
Probably not, but if anybody's going, let me know.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah.
So Christian Cage or Danny Garcia. I don't think Daniel's winning this. I got to go Christian Cage on this one.
I don't either because Cope is hurt, and I think the writing on the wall, they just had to slide somebody in, right?
Yeah, and Danny wasn't doing anything, so might as well put him in there. Go for it.
Or is it stir the pot and maybe get a couple more minutes out of it? Is it to get the title to Danny? Because he's been doing great things. He has been.
Yeah.
Cope causes him the title, which then leads to the next pay-per-view of their blow-off match.
Yeah.
Because the title doesn't need to be on either one of those guys at this time.
It doesn't. I mean, that's a good point. Maybe Cope isn't truly injured and he's just playing the part to get the title off of Christian Cage at that point. Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we're both saying Christian now.
We're both saying Christian Cage. Okay.
I don't know if we differ much, honestly.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's go another title here. And let's go the international title. OC and Roddy. Actually, I don't think we're going to differ on this one, but what do you got?
Well, we beat it to a ground 2 weeks ago or so. We think this is Roddy's to win because of what's going on with the kingdom and the story of OC again being tired, but he didn't look tired against Nick Wayne. But then again, he wasn't planning to wrestle, so.
But then he sold his back, and now the back is now the story.
And then he got jumped.
And then he got jumped, and they made sure to call out, Roddy really likes those backbreakers, so that's something to keep in mind, too.
Bless you that you didn't do it yet. I'm taking Roddy to
there it is.
one.
Okay. Yeah, Roddy's taking this. Roddy's running with it. All right. Let's go here. FTR versus BCC.
This is where you have something. And I'm intrigued.
This is where I have something. So my thought is...
Well, I'm taking FTR. I want to hear your thought without...
You're going FTR? Okay.
I'm taking FTR. Because shout out to the Crockett's and... I don't know. I would like them to do something with the Crockett Cup now since they kind of brought it back around. I know NWA has it, but maybe you can work with them. I'm always pulling for the NWA, even though it's kind of putrid right now. By the way, shout out new tag team champions, women's version. The Killer Bees took it off of my gals, Pretty Empowered, this week.
Yeah.
But that's because they're going to England. Side note, but
fair enough. I'll go FTR too, but my thought process is I got to take this back to when BCC started, and they added Wheeler Yuta. What'd they do? They made Yuta go through every single member and prove himself, right? What if this open thing that they did with FTR was for a team to step up and prove themselves? Theoretically, FTR shouldn't have to prove themselves, but they have said, the BCC themselves has said, if you're going to be a member of our group, you have to fight us in the ring, or you have to lose blood with us. You have to do this. You have to do that. I think they teased it with House of Black a couple months ago because they were really going to do it with BCC. I think FTR is joining Blackpool Combat Club, or at least getting the invite to join them after this match.
I would love this. Because, listen, FTR, very, very fan-friendly, very technical in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see a dirty
FTR.
A dirty FTR for a little bit.
Yeah.
What a perfect way to go with the bastards, essentially, of AEW right now.
Yeah.
They will spit on your mother.
Well, that's exactly it. They're nitty-gritty. They will beat you up, slap your mother, slap your grandma. The FTR is in a position right now where they can play a nasty motherfuckers and they can hang with the best of them. Dax proved that against Mox a couple weeks ago. This is not a new thing. It might be just for the nitty gritty. Get them in the BCC, and that's what BCC needs is a tag team. Because
you have this whole Freebird rule of their tag team right now. Everybody's a tag team in that BCC realm. You get a legitimate tag team in there. Mox can then go for the heavyweight title. Claudio can go back in ROH. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Down the line. Danielson, we'll get there when we get there. But he's on his way out.
Yeah.
He's retiring in August, so to speak.
Right.
This is what everybody's being told.
Yeah.
The promo code, by the way, for All In is your mom, FTR, yada, whatever the promo code is. But, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but to me, we had this a couple weeks ago. This just seemed to come out of nowhere. Because, like, where was this build? It just started 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about it. It seems like a pissing contest between the two. There's a reason it's a pissing contest between the two, because they have to prove they're making FTR go through the ringer to prove how tough they are and that they can hang with them.
I didn't see this until now. I love it.
Yeah. But again, I have these wild theories and they never pan out. So we're hoping for the best.
We're not separated yet. I'm all right.
All right. Let's go Ospreay and Takeshita.
This is probably just one to pick.
I had to get this one. We had to get this one out of the way.
But this is going to be a barn burner. It really is. I'm excited. This is another match that I'm actually excited to see.
This is one that I think would be match of the night if it wasn't for FTR BCC.
Right.
So I think this one has the capability to be there. It's definitely Ospreay. I mean, you got to give him that home win. But again, like we were saying, Callis family's not holding up after this point.
No, you saw it with the shaking of the hands, and essentially I put pissing match in the notes on this. That this was, they had to have him there to start the pissing match.
Exactly.
The smug look on his face and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it's going with this. And also, happy-go-lucky Ospreay's not hanging around too long.
Dude.
This is honeymoon phase Ospreay, and then we're going to get to real Ospreay in a little bit.
He didn't have his clothes. You have to be happy-go-lucky when you look like a frog.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is very true. You gotta get people behind you in some capacity. All right. Eddie Danielson, Continental Crown. I'm kind of torn on this, but I also think they're going to give Danielson one last run. So I'm going to give Danielson a title here, the Continental Crown Championship. I think it's Danielson's.
I'm going to tell you who the next champion's going to be.
Who's that?
Will Ospreay.
Yeah. Because
we're running that back.
And it's going to be...
We both took Danielson.
We both took Danielson. I think it's before Forbidden Door.
Oh, I do too.
Because then you can run back Ospreay and anybody out of New Japan, or maybe they bring people up from TNA, or, whatever they're going to try to, or Seth, Tyler, whatever his name is, whatever that guy's name is.
Right.
Ed. But we could see what happens with that.
Yeah, he has a nice little run with this, Ospreay.
He does. He does have a nice little run with this. For sure. But I think, again, to your point, I think it's going to end up being the warm-up to the world title. And I wouldn't be surprised if we revisit Takeshita Ospreay all in, all out.
Yeah.
And then Ospreay goes for the title, World's End or something like that, the world title.
Ospreay will be champion by the end of this year.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. 3 matches on here. Let's do it. The Women's World Championship, timeless. Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. We gonna pick any returns in this match? Not debuts, because the debut is happening in Boston.
If you missed anything,
if you missed anything, you're living under goddamn fucking Empire State Building at this point. You're Jimmy Hoffa under Giant Stadium at this point.
Right?
Yeah. I think this is Hayter time. I think Hayter shows up.
You think Hayter prior to Britt?
Prior to Britt. Yeah. I think Hayter shows up. It's prior to Britt. It just seems like it's track. I don't think Britt's coming back yet. I think Britt is going to be the one that faces whatever big business is going on in Boston. And 2 weeks after this, I think that's when we see Britt come back around. I think Hayter's involved in this picture right here.
And Tony keeps the title.
Yeah, I don't see Deanna getting the title taken off her, because I think if they're playing with Hayter, it's Hayter-Tony for the title at the next pay-per-view.
Yep. That's exactly where I am. Exactly where I am. Deanna is a formidable opponent. I think this is going to be a great match.
Yeah. And they built her
talk
up.
about this later down in a couple months.
Yes. And they built Deanna up to be that formidable opponent in AEW. They have treated her like the star she is. It's just not her time yet.
Not with what's coming, what's returning.
And then, it's just, there's too many variables.
If she wins a title, it's quick, and I think it doesn't do much for her.
No. And this is where we come into play of, ROH is getting a secondary women's title. Maybe we should get one in AEW.
Yeah. I completely agree.
So, all right. I think the last match is going to be the last match we cover here, so let's do the triple threat for the world title. Joe, Swerve, Hangman, who's miraculously cured. Miraculously cured. Yeah, whatever. Miracle Whip works. Alright. This is my pick. I think we see a double. We talked about the double turn coming. Hangman's already on that path. I think it's Swerve.
Swerve's been on that path.
Yeah, I think they capitalize on Swerve right now.
They have to.
And they give the Hot Man the title. They've learned from the mistake they did with the Acclaimed and Swerve and Keith Lee. They know they got to give it to Swerve right now.
Agreed. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a injury, and I put the injury in air quotes. So Joe is off for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So there's no sniffing of a rematch. And I know AEW doesn't do a lot of rematches. They don't. Once in a great while, but they don't. But you need Joe to go away. Yeah. He's been a champion for a while. From TV to this to that to this. He needs to go away. Because he will always be then linked to this if he's not gone.
Disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah. So if one of them injures Joe, I'm completely agreeing with you. This has to be Swerve. Because then the next Swerve's first title defense against Hangman in an electrified chair match or whatever the hell they're going to do, because you know that match it's going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Swerve keeps it a while.
Yeah. Oh, Swerve.
I think anybody in the Kingdom is. We've predicted this a while ago. Maybe Kingdom's going to have them all. I don't know if they're ready. I don't know if anybody gives two shits about them right now. Because Adam's not in the ring.
If Adam was in the ring, that'd be a whole different story. But Adam's not. So nobody cares. Swerve's keeping this potentially to Ospreay. Unless Adam Cole comes up and finally gets healthy again.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. It's the last match ever, but it's for the AEW Tag Team titles. Who do you have?
Unless we're getting a tournament, we're getting new champions. And I'm ready for the douchery of Matthew and Nicholas as tag team champions after they retire Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they win the match. I don't know if they win the war of the 20 minutes or whatever they're going to have. They get a roll-up quickly victory over Darby, beat the snot out of them, and then Sting gets his comeuppance as we go off the air.
Yeah.
And waves to the crowd. Doesn't take the loss. Essentially still putting them over. I know we've had this discussion. But leaves AEW undefeated.
I think they will pin Sting. I think Sting gets pinned. Sting is a old school guy, and I think there's a Sports Illustrated article earlier this week where he was talking up, there's going to be things you never thought you'd see, blah, 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 blah. I think he takes the loss in the last match. He's the one that gets pinned. As weird as that sounds, and as much as he's no-sold everything under the sun in AEW, I think they find a way to keep him down for a 3 count.
It's ran through my mind all week.
What?
I like your theory, though, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Sting gets injured. Again, injured.
Yeah.
This is why we're going to keep the Swerve and Hangman match kind of away from this. I don't know how you do it. Maybe the heavyweight championship's the first thing out.
Maybe.
To have these bookended next to each other I don't think it should be a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't. And we all think that Sting should be the last match, right?
Yeah. It has to be, yeah.
He gets injured. Darby, being Darby, I can take these fuckers on by myself, yada, yada, yada. He comes out as Crow Sting. And this is me just hoping. I know he's not going to have dyed hair, for the love of God. He brings fluorescent back and comes back out as that Sting. It's not going to happen. It's gonna be Japan, dark hair Sting, fluorescent paint Sting. Blade Runners, him and Dingo Warrior.
Him and Dingo Warrior, yeah.
I would mark out about that too. No, but Bucks win. They're the champs. I like your theory that he takes the pin, but I don't know. I think the question, once they said it'll be the last time he's on as an active wrestler, I think that holds something that Sting retired undefeated in AEW is something that Tony Khan thinks is and I'm not knocking him, but thinks is something that they can hold over everybody's head, that Sting was undefeated in his organization or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, almost says like an FU to WWE and all that regard. He didn't win at that point, But I don't know. To me, if they're really passionate about putting over the douchebaggery of the AVPs, they need to pin Sting to really put that over.
Now it's a tornado match.
Yeah.
But it's a tornado match that needs to take place, the pin in the ring. I mean, the shit changes.
It's going to be whatever. It could be they put a bunch of crates on top of them or pallets or whatever the hell it is. Guaranteed you're going to see Cutler. You're going to see some other mofos flying around here they're going to use their friends to beat Sting.
Do you think we get any help for Sting and Darby? I really think Flair's going to be in the ring, but he's not going to.
He's not. Well, that spoke volumes on Wednesday night, so.
Do you think maybe throwing some homage or honor or whatever the hell the word is I'm looking for, do you think maybe we get a Dustin down to try to help Sting? Like, kind of bring some WCW people that can do. Like, Luger would have been great. Luger's not doing anything.
Right.
How about Nikita Koloff?
What about Muda?
Yeah. I mean,
there's possibilities out there to pay homage, to do that. Where's the line? What is it? Are we going to play a little bit cinematic and a little bit in-match thing where maybe Muda pops up behind a curtain or something and sprays the EVPs, miss the EVPs or something? I don't know. The possibilities are there. I don't know how they're going to execute it.
And does Okada show up during the Ospreay match?
That was a good call, too. I think Okada's showing up at some point. I don't know if it's Ospreay or not. I don't know if it's Ospreay. Maybe it's after the Danielson-Kingston match. Because they have the history, and now this is the Continental Classic crown. So if Danielson wins this, He's also made a mockery out of some Japanese legendary wrestlers. Okada shows up.
So Okada takes it from Danielson. Ospreay takes it from Okada.
Okada. Yeah.
Because I'm not knocking Will Ospreay's build up to take anything he wants in the world.
Right.
But he's had matches, as he's told everybody, in AEW, but he's not primed for a title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okada walks in, he's primed for a title.
Yeah. And he gets the win of the third match between him and Danielson.
And then Forbidden Door Okada Ospreay?
Maybe.
Listen, Danielson's getting his flowers, is what we're saying. But his flowers are going to probably wilt in a month.
Yeah.
And then he'll go on to do other things for All In, All Out in the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a person. He's content doing production and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he wants, and I'm thinking in my brain, like Daniel Bryan's, I don't think he wants a title or cares about the title. But they just want, hey, we want to give you one.
Yeah. Before you leave. Yeah.
And he said, all right, well, give me this new one to put in. And not that Danny King, that's not a name. But Daniel Bryan's a little bigger of a name.
Well, you think about
Bryan
it this
Danielson
way.
too. Fuck.
Yeah, there you go. There's your one a year. But here's the flip side of that, too. He probably said, okay, I'll take the title, but I'm putting Eddie over first, and then I'll see you in 2 months. Give it to me at Revolution.
Right. Any other names you think? I have one, and it's a woman that could be knocking as well.
Who do you have?
Camille.
Oh, okay. She has been hinting hard on social media.
Right.
And she didn't travel to Perth, so I don't know.
I don't know how she fits into Tony and Deanna, especially if we're having Hayter walk through the door.
Well, did Deanna have...
She may have had a match with
Camille. See, that's too much of a string to pull on. I don't know. I could see Camille walking through the door and being all elite, but I just don't know. To your point, I don't know how they get there. What's on the card now?
There's 13 more matches to be added to this fucking thing.
Well, yeah. Well, to that point, Julia Hart's got to defend the TBS title probably, so that might get added at some point. Does she fit into that picture? Does she throw the monkey wrench into that picture?
She could. Or, say Julia's still lingering.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to Stat. Camille walks in and looks at Stat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right. Strong, we're strong.
Yeah. I think she's going to be loved, though.
Oh, 100%. It's not going to walk in, they're not going to know her or give her the love she deserves. It's going to happen.
Or is Camille, if we get the match of Julia and Stat, does Camille save Julia? Because, listen, Julia and Sky are nowhere near the size of Stat. Why not have a Shawn Michaels Diesel type of role with them?
That could be.
It's a we don't have a lackey with anybody right now. And I'm not calling Camille a lackey. She's far from it. But
we don't have a power.
Yeah.
With somebody. Like, you could talk about Don Callis' family, whatever. But there's not a Powerhouse Hobbs is the power of that group, but he's not acting in that bodyguard persona. It's not a small and a big. Like, that's just not happening right now. So, to your point, Julia and Camille, that'll be the perfect scenario for that to happen.
It's probably not long.
No.
It would be the perfect person for maybe Julia to lose it to then.
Mm-hmm.
After months of shitting on her because she doesn't do anything right.
Yeah. Alive, yeah. Wardlow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wins, by the way, nothing on the front of him, huh?
No, the only thing that's popping up is celebrating relationship goals. That's about it.
Him and Alicia dancing on hot lava or whatever the hell they were doing. Good for them.
1 year. Yeah, good for them. Nothing on his front.
And I don't know if it's the time.
I don't think it's
he doesn't fit into anything that's going on right now.
I'm going to say this right now. Swerve may lose it to Adam Cole, and then it's the time.
Yeah.
And then MJF beats Cole, and then Ospreay beats MJF at the end of the year.
So we're 6 months away.
Yeah, probably.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I got nothing. We cooked. We wined and dined. We barked.
We did. They were pretty vocal. And I'm not, I love them.
No,
they were pretty vocal about stuff this week. They were mad.
They were, Elimination Chamber took a lot out of them. And, they had they were very vocal this week about their displeasure of what happened in that hour and a half between the tag team match and the main event. So we're getting there. I'm letting them get. I'm liking that they're getting their voice out there and getting heard.
It's a Bailey and Charlie effect.
It really is.
It was a hell of a lot better than the Waller effect. Mine are dead to the world, by the way. No idea that the world is turning right now.
All they know is maybe they'll get a dilly baller tomorrow.
Oh, they know. They're dilly dumplings are dancing in their head right now. What do you got going on for the week, my kind sir?
Oh, we are getting absolutely nothing. Yeah, right. Nothing really planned right now. Gonna go through the weekend. It looks like it's gonna be nice out, so I might do some stuff outside.
You got flowers now?
Yeah, I got flowers in the front. So it's good. What do you got going on?
Well, Tuesday I'm off work. So that fills that day. We'll find out after Saturday kind of where PIAA States basketball starts. So that might be, hop, skip, and a jump away. Other than that, it's, as of right now recording, it's an open week besides fucking working tomorrow.
Yeah.
Goddamn water meters.
You gotta be so happy about that.
Can you tell? For 3 hours I've been shitting on people because you need a new water meter in town. On a Saturday. Mandated bullcrap. Other than that, yeah. I'm glad I can't get fired for yelling at my job on my podcast because...
that's nice. That is very nice.
I don't know if I can or not, but I don't think anybody at work listens. I've probably been fired a long time ago. This week was just sour. When they said, hey, you're working tomorrow. I'm like, okay.
Well, they're just like, don't you dare be sour.
Shucky ducky.
Shucky ducky.
I love you. Remember, just because you're trash
doesn't mean you... Hold on. Okay.
By the way, I'll restart that. And I'm not even going to edit it out. You listen to the podcast, The Spotlight, this past Wednesday. I did it the opposite way. When I was talking to Maddie Monarch,
did you?
I said, don't forget you tell your loved ones you love them. Remember, just because you're trash. I did it backwards. No clue.
It's just that week. You didn't have it. You didn't have that mojo right then and there.
I didn't.
I just didn't have it there. I completely was like, I was zoned in. I had the X up, saw something that happened on SmackDown, and it was like, God damn it, it happened. So.
Oh no. We'll talk about it next week.
Talk about it next week.
But remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
This is my part. You're a garbage can, not a garbage can not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.